into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Deep breath. Just let it all out. Let all that stress just leave your body. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning. Welcome to it, you beautiful souls. My name is Graham Richards.
My name is Jamie Lee Domberg, reporting live with you on this Wednesday morning.
I love you, man.
I love you.
I love you more, man. We love you the most. We love the fact that you're here, that we got you for 3 hours, and this morning it's all about the home. So we're going to decide which knitwear to wear at home. We're going to get you feeling comfy and cozy. What kind of fabric, the top fabric trends that you need to be looking out for in 2021 as well.
Get this, we're also going to be getting organizing tips from Clean Freak, we call her, Becky Catamol, who welcomed us into her home to share some of her top cleaning and organizing tips for spaces that can become so stressful. Are you a hoarder?
Basically, I'm not a hoarder anymore.
Did you see the
I'm also a liar. So I've realized, because if you go into my garage, it's become like an unofficial storeroom, and it's just like, I don't know how I would actually survive without that. But I'm also a freak when it comes to having like order, and which means that I'm constantly going through stress because I have a 3, almost 4-year-old boy. So yes, the home can be a stressful place, but we'll try and declutter your life this morning. You just need to stay home, stay safe, stay relaxed, stay chilled, and stick around, because we are going to have a very feel-good breakfast show. And lest we forget, it's a Wednesday morning, which means culinary hotline bling.
Ting, ting, ting.
Yes, people, it's a Wednesday. Good morning, you beautiful souls, and thank you for joining us. My name is Ryle Demone, and oh, what a show we have for you today. Lots of tips, lots of tricks, and everything that you're going to need to get your home ready for the next season coming up. And this morning on social media, we're asking the question of what is it that makes your home an official home? What is it that makes your house feel like a home? Now, for many people, they have that little one thing, like their old cabinet from their mom, or your silver spoons for, you know, the special guests. I think for me, for Nature Boy, it's got to be my plants. If I can have at least a minimum of 100 plants, that's when I feel like I'm at home, because I got my jungle vibes and the feels, and you know, Nature Boy is really at home then. And then maybe just to top it off, a little waterfall running down the steps. You never know. You should come to my house though and check it out. But let us know on our social media channels this morning. Of course, we'd love to hear from you. What makes your house an official home? And before we get into all the homely business on the studio this morning, let's find out what's happening first up in the news with G.
Thank you so much. Well, let's start with probably the hottest news ticket this week as we kick it off here in South Africa. South Africa has now signed an agreement with Pfizer for 20 million dual-shot COVID-19 vaccine doses, thereby boosting plans to start mass vaccinations this month. The deal adds to the 31 million single-shot doses from Johnson & Johnson, which the government approved last week. Health experts have urged the government to scale up its vaccination program in the light of speculation that the country is likely to be hit by a third wave of infections in the coming months. Meanwhile, South African tourism says industry leaders are working together to issue so-called vaccine passports and thus restore international travel. Countries around the world have begun introducing vaccine passports that their citizens may use as proof that they have been vaccinated against the coronavirus. The absence of international tourists, accompanied by restrictive measures, led to the closure of several businesses in the tourism industry. The SA Tourism CEO, Sisa Nchona, says the industry will start recovering when vaccine distribution expands nationwide. Now, on the international front, Tanzania's new president, 61-year-old Samia Suluhu Hassan, has announced that bans slapped on a number of media outlets by her predecessor, John Magufuli, who died last month, are to be lifted. She said media rules, regulations and penalties should be transparent so that everyone knows what to expect should they do wrong. Earlier, the country's first female president announced plans to appoint a panel of experts to advise her on how best to curb the spread of the coronavirus, reversing her predecessor's denialism of the pandemic. Then Israel's president has tasked Benjamin Netanyahu with forming a new government following recent elections which did not produce a clear winner. Netanyahu, Israel's caretaker prime minister, received the most endorsements from MPs as the candidates to put a ruling coalition together. The elections in March were a record fourth in 2 years, as 3 earlier rounds ended inconclusively. Netanyahu's opportunity comes at a time that he stands trial on charges of fraud, bribery and breach of trust. However, he has denounced the accusations as politically motivated. And now, lastly, news of a big, and I stress big, mama bear crossing the highway with her adorable cubs. So fresh out of their winter den, a huge mama black bear in Connecticut in the US had her paws full trying to get all 4 of her cubs across a busy highway as cars piled up in both directions near the city of Winstead, some 40 kilometers northwest of the state capital, Hartford. Now, one motorist was afforded a front row seat of the amusing scene unfolding and took a video. 4 lively clubs are a lot for a mama bear to handle, clearly. Usually there are only 2 or 3 of the types. And the adorable video depicts the difficulty she had with the 4th cub refusing to cross and attempting to climb a utility pole instead. Kids will be kids. Police were called to the scene and found many drivers waiting patiently for the bear to get her brood safely to the other side. As one of them put it, she barely made it across. And Connecticut has a healthy and increasing, thankfully, bear population with the highest concentration in the northwest region of the state. Reports of bear sightings, even in heavily populated residential areas, have been on the rise, with some 7,300 annually. Needless to mention, mama black bear's outing with her cubs rapidly went viral. Parents have a tough job. That's where we leave our news. Let's get into the sport. We start with rugby. The Springboks have begun their preparations for the British and Irish Lions tour taking place in July this year. The reigning Rugby World Cup champions have started preparing with groups of players who will be attending alignment camps this month. Director of Rugby Rassie Erasmus and Bok head coach Jacques Ninaba will meet with a number of players to present their plans for the 2021 rugby season. Overseas-based players who are playing in the United Kingdom, France and Ireland, and there are a number, will also gather, and virtual meetings will take place for players in Japan. On to football. Defending Premier Soccer League champions Mamelodi Sundowns opened a 6-point lead at the top of the standings. That was after seeing off Chakuma Chamadzivandila 3-1 at the Peter Mokaba Stadium. The Brazilians now sit on 43 points on the log, while Chakuma, they remain in 15th place, which is a relegation playoff spot at this point. Now the PSL results from yesterday: Kaizer Chiefs and Stellenbosch FC, they played out to a 2-2 draw in a pretty thrilling clash at the FNB Stadium. The Amakosi remaining in 9th place and Stellies in 10th on the log. Then on to international football. Spanish giants Real Madrid were too good for Liverpool in the first leg of their UEFA Champions League quarterfinals in Spain last night. Los Blancos outclassing the Reds by 3-1. The Manchester City, they also recorded a first leg win against Borussia Dortmund at the Etihad. City beat the visitors 2-1. The second leg of both quarterfinal fixtures will take place on the 14th of April, so not long to wait. Then tonight, Porto will take on Chelsea, and Bayern Munich, they will face Paris Saint-Germain. Those kicking off at 9 p.m. Now, on to Olympics news. North Korea has announced that they will not be taking part in the 2021 Tokyo Olympics, of course taking place in July and August. This decision was made in order to protect their athletes from the coronavirus. The announcement makes North Korea the first major country to skip the Games because of the pandemic. The Tokyo Olympics is scheduled to take place from the 23rd of July to the 8th of August, with a very strong South African contingent going over. That's where we leave our sport for now. Let's greet the day with some of your beautiful sunrise pictures.
Thank you so much, G-Man, for that sports update. As always, we love this part of the show and the morning where we can feature our viewers' incredible sunrise pictures sent through to us. And this morning, of course, is no different. And we kick off with Caroline Crawford, all the way from Umkomaas, who shared this gorgeous skyline of the golden sun rising over the ocean. Now, today, you can expect a mostly sunny and humid day with a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius. Another favorite who we got to speak to briefly on Monday, Hannes Bosman, shared the stunning image of his favorite fishing spot, the Strand Reefs. Now, if you are in the Strand area today, do expect a partly cloudy day reaching a maximum of 26 degrees Celsius. Again, please do continue to share your sunrise photos with us on the Expresso Facebook page. We absolutely love seeing how you start your day. Now, of course, while we do enjoy experiencing a sunrise from your part of South Africa, we do have some international viewers tuning on both YouTube and the Africa channel in the USA. And this morning we're reporting on the weather from Des Moines, Iowa. It is the capital city of the state, named after the Des Moines River, which translated from French meaning the River of Monks. Now today, conditions will be mostly cloudy and mild with occasional rain and a thunderstorm, and the maximum for the area will be 17 degrees Celsius. Stormy in other news as well, a stormy weather and waves of up to 15 meters high off the coast of Norway in the North Sea yesterday forced crew members aboard the Dutch cargo ship Eemslift Hendrika to evacuate. Now, the Norwegian Coast Guard said that the 12-member crew of the ship that was adrift was in danger of capsizing in rough seas and had to be rescued. A Coast Guard video shows rescuers airlifting the crew from the ship as it is being battered by 15-meter high waves. Now, some crew members were seen being airlifted from the sea, while others were rescued from the ship's deck. The Coast Guard said that the 111-meter Dutch registered ship had lost the power of its main engine and was presently drifting towards land. The vessel is carrying smaller yachts, and an oil spill is feared if it capsizes and sinks. Well, that is where we leave your international weather update. Here's a first look at the temperatures for the home of South Africa. We kick it off with Polokwane. Do expect a low of 12, peaking at 25 today. Umbombela, for you, it ranges from 17 to 27. Pretoria, if you're out and about, do expect thunder showers, which range from 14 to 23. Johannesburg, a low of 12 and a high of 20. Mahikeng ranges from 12 to 22, and thunder showers are also expected for you. Klerksdorp, do expect a minimum of 12 and a maximum of 23, and then Kimberley coming through with a low of 15 and a high of 27. Bloemfontein, for you, it is a minimum of 10 and a high of 25, and then Richards Bay coming through with a low of 19 and a high of 29. Pietermaritzburg, if you're out and about, do expect a low of 15 and a high of 30, and South Africa's playground Durban reaching a low of 21 and a high of 29. Mthatha, for you, it is 13.29. East London 17.25. Craddock can be seen with a low of 11 and a high of 32. Gqeberha 15.24. George 13.22. And if you do find yourself in the mother city Cape Town today, do expect a low of 16 and a high of 23. Worcester 13.30, Sutherland 9.25, and then last but definitely not least, Uppington ranges from 18 to 32 today. Of course, whatever the weather, wherever you do find yourself today, happy Wednesday to all of you.
Happy Wednesday indeed, Jamie Lee Domberg. I'm excited. Do I look excited about this? I've been getting into my coffee vibes lately, okay?
The connoisseur.
I kind of feel like this could be my plan B job, actually being a coffee guide. So we recently introduced to you guys the La Complida Refinada. Okay, and we yesterday spoke about the origins of the Nicaragua and the fact that these two kind of share the same base, but then they have a very different finishing process. You and I are going to see if we can taste the flavor notes that go into these two amazing coffees. You up for it?
I'm here for the taste, and you guys better stick around. We've got some warm belly warming magic, of course, and we're also going to throw something over the body too, and that's coming straight after this.
Oh, you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it, your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, live here on S3. Open up to fashion inspiration. Now, with the morning temperatures getting chillier, we've heard it all over the place. It's only normal for us to start changing up our wardrobe. Oh yes, it's that time of the year. Now, over the decades, we've seen knitwear becoming a unifying fashion trend around the globe. Everywhere you go, you get simpler pieces that you can incorporate into your work-from-home wardrobe, or more trend-forward statement pieces to stay over the weekend. And fashion editor Nox Mafu is here to tell us all about it. Nox, right on time with the fashion.
You know what time it is. It's fashion time.
Wow, it is fashion time. And whoa, what a lot of fashion you brought along with you this morning. Lots of knitwear pieces, and we've seen that they've been a big trend all over the world on their own. But how do you actually bring it all together? What have you got for us here?
So today we have a beautiful range of literally like the most comfy, most luxurious knitwear pieces.
Yeah.
So I'll start over close to you. We've got the transitional dress, so just this one actually.
It's a transitional dress.
So the
which
knitwear
means what, Nox?
Exactly, which means it's a knitwear dress which you can wear style up or down. You could pair it with like combat boots, for instance, or flats, or with a high heel. So I always say the staple to have during knitwear is a long knitwear dress, which is a great transitional piece. Then we move over to more the cable knit, right?
Okay, so you're bringing the fashion-forward knitwear pieces with you here.
Exactly.
Yeah?
So we've got the cable knit right here, which I love over here. I mean, if I were to layer it, I'll definitely show you how I would do so. And then, of course, we've got the loose, chunky knit, which is always so luxurious. I mean, so soft to the touch.
Looks so good.
And then we've got our cardigans, which are far more lightweight, right? So if, let's say, you want to pair it with a jogger or something, this is something more easier that you could probably wear even with a shirt if you had a meeting at home. And then, of course, you've got the big, chunky pieces that are just going to make you feel like you can just sink into it and live in it.
This looks like a hug. If a hug was a jersey, this would be a hug.
This is it. And I think that's what knitwear is about. It really is about bringing comfort and style at the same place. We've got all these textures that are coming in, the different hues of colors. If you can even look at the range of colors we're seeing. Exactly.
Well, here's the thing, Nox, is that across all of these knitwear pieces that you've brought along with you this morning, is that what Woolworths have been able to do so well is even the most basic and simple ones, they've thought about it. They've thought about the fashion element and the forwardness of it, right?
100%.
Layering is a big thing.
Yes.
Layering is a queen on her own.
She is what she is. How do we do that, though?
Yeah, how do you do it?
So I think always remember, with layering, it's about using the colors that you have.
Yeah.
So for instance, I'm playing on the blacks, I'm playing on the whites. So if I wanted to layer it, I've already got the chunky knit on.
Okay.
All you need now is a crew knit, a cable knit, which I'll, let's say, put over my shoulders.
As a layer.
And this is now my layer.
Wow.
But there's so many different ways. So I've paired this with a high heel boot, so more sleek. This is more of a weekend look, right?
If you're going out.
If you're going out.
Okay.
But then the joy is that you can really play between these pieces and make it happen. Remember I spoke about the transitional knitwear dress?
Yes, like this,
so
for example.
I want to show you how we can style this in real time.
Okay, you've got a model.
You know how I do.
Jamie Lee Domberg is our model this morning. Jamie, there you are. Look at you, Jamie.
Fashion is the word.
Wow.
Right? So I love the play of green. We know that green is a huge color in the summer and the winter colors.
It's a trendy color in 2021.
Very refreshing, speaks to new renewal and newness, and she's done that so well. So we've added now a chunky knit that she's done, and we've added with the knitwear dress, which is great. So we've got 2 layers here of color coming in, complementing each other, and of course with the skin and everything, it's popping. Then we add that with a nice chunky item. She could have added a bit of belt if she wanted to, just to make it high waist. But what I love about this is that it's relaxed, it's cool and edgy, and we've
sophisticated.
And we've added some combat boots over here, just a little bit of femme at the end, and here we have a great winter look that is hitting all the notes.
The most important thing for me is how it feels. So Jamie, I mean, you look like $1 million. But how do you feel?
You look chic.
Thank you so much. I feel chic. That's what I wanted to say. I feel chic, but it's also like if comfortable was a person, this is how I feel. I feel like I can step out anywhere and own the space that I'm in, but I'm still feeling very comfortable and warm.
Yes.
Which is important. Winter's coming now. You want to be cuddled up and like snug. This is exactly what it feels like.
I love that. Even taking care of it is easy. These remain in frame. These are something that are comfortable. The colors are going to stick. Super important.
Winter's long.
Winter's long.
You You want those jerseys to last with you as long as winter's lasting.
And it comes again.
Yeah.
That's the thing about winter. It's going to come again.
It's going to come again.
And these are great items just to really build your wardrobe with statement pieces that are amazing.
Yeah.
And good looking.
Well, winter is almost here, and the North certainly does always remember those trends. The Knox does bring the trends as well. Thank you so much, Knox. You've been fantastic.
You.
This is really awesome stuff which you can get at Woolies, and it's all about helping you embrace the seasonal transition, the transitional season with new, cozy fabrics and textures, and there's a lot of them. Now, these knitwear items, they are super soft, they're extra warm, they're available in all on-trend styles and shades and colors, which you've seen this morning. Shop them at Woolworths. Available in store, online, or on the Woolies app. Knox, you're the girl you think you are. You are the girl you think you are.
All right, now that we are all warm and cozy and looking gorgeous, schmodel. Look at these schmodels. I'm actually stood beside me this morning. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Now we need to warm you up from the inside out with a warm cup of coffee. Here's a question. Maybe you were listening yesterday or not, but did you know that some coffee undergoes a fermentation process?
You taught me that yesterday.
I did. Hey, I did my studying yesterday, but yes, indeed it does, involving microorganisms, obviously like a yeast, and we know that in yogurts and in breads. Well, some coffee, like the La Complida Refinada, undergoes the same fermentation process to create a completely unique flavor. I also taught you yesterday that the Nicaragua and the La Complida, because La Complida is actually a place in Nicaragua, they start their journey in the same way, then they split. The one goes through the black honey route, that being the Nicaragua, where they kind of create this caramelized black layer over 30 days. They continue that process to create this beautiful flavor profile. I'm trying not to mention any of the ingredients there. And then, of course, the La Complida goes through the fermentation process, which has a slightly different flavor note. So at their heart, they're the same guy. Basically, they're just the same guy from Nicaragua with different universities.
Different finishing schools.
Yeah, they went to different universities. Okay, so what we've got here are some flavor notes laid out in front of me, a range of different fruits, different acidities, different spicy notes, cereal notes. What we're going to do now is a blind taste test of sorts and a bit of competition, because we always got to have a bit of healthy competition. You're going to have a taste of your coffee, and then you're going to identify one or more of the flavor notes out on our smorgasbord here. Every flavor note you get correct, I give you a point. The one who wins the most points gets a rose from me in a very romantic fashion.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. You get a rose. Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is. You get a rose and you stick around. The other person's off the show. The other person is off Expresso. All right, so you guys up for the challenge?
Yeah,
man.
All right, so you can start wherever you want, really. Okay. So you've got the La Complida is on your right-hand side, and then you've got the Nicaragua on the left.
Ooh.
We can choose anything first.
You can go either way. So we've got honey there, we've got some nuts, cashew nuts, we've got some cherries, caramelized cherries, we've got some flour, we've got some pomegranate seeds, some raisins here, we've got some cinnamon and nutmeg and cloves.
The La Complida has a very nutty smell to it, so I'm definitely going to go with the nuts for this one. Don't.
Okay.
I'm going to taste.
My tongue is on fire today. I am in the zone. I definitely think I have an idea of what's going on here.
You can start. Once you've got an answer, just let me know and I'll hopefully give you a point.
I definitely want to draw a comparison between the two. If I'm looking at the Nicaragua versus the La Complida, I'm getting a little bit more of a mild bitterness on the Nicaragua.
Okay.
It's more of a cereal type of a
So
taste
what would you match that with then?
Nothing too much in the fruity terms. So I'd definitely go with something like, I could agree with Jamie on those nuts. Possibly, is that yeast or?
That's flour.
Flour. I think it could have somewhat of a flour to it. It's not sweet enough to have any of these fruity tones for me.
Ding, 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 ding. I'll give you 1 point on the Nicaragua.
I was about to say that.
Barista boy in the building. Barista boy.
I would also like to say that this has a bit of a spice in it because we don't have any fruits in there. I do feel like it is a bit more spicy. So the Nicaragua is a bit more spicy than the La Complida. So I would definitely say it has a bit of spice in.
Doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
So they share a similar flavor intensity. They've both got a 5 intensity, obviously, because they're kind of made from the same beans, but no spice. Which one would you say carries a bit more acidity? Well,
Ooh, that is an interesting one, actually.
So far, it's 1 point plays.
Nicaragua has a bit more acidity than the La Cumplida.
I'm going to maybe go against you and say...
Remember, the Nicaragua is created with the black honey process, eh? I'm just putting a little thing out there.
So then I will say the La Cumplida. Come on, I just got it wrong.
But
So
I mean,
what-
just on
Give me
the-
another matcher. Give me another matcher.
The La Cumplida also has honey in, because obviously
They both actually
have
have honey
honey.
notes. They both actually have sweet honey notes. So I'm going to give you a point. I'm going to ask for one more ingredient as the decider here. I think you're the two of the least competitive people on the planet.
We just want to drink more coffee.
I know,
That's why.
maybe that's
You're
the
smart
key.
one.
Yeah.
I think I got a nudge. I don't know about you, Jamie. I don't know how you feel.
okay, go my friend.
But I definitely, like I said, I'm getting the more like sort of sweet florally notes from the La Complida, so I'm definitely going to go with one of the fruit options there. I don't know so much about pomegranate. I'm not sure. It could be between the pomegranate and the cranberry. It's a tosser, but I'm going to... Let's try cranberry, maybe?
I will
Can't give it to you,
say
man. I can't give it to you.
the cherries.
Can't give it to you either.
The pomegranate.
The pomegranate, I'll give it to you, man. Come on, man, come on. No, look, I made it very difficult because these are very similar flavor profiles. And you see, there's such a subtle difference, but that there is a slightly higher acidity, and you were on the money there with the floral note. So the pineapple probably comes into play there.
Okay.
But it's subjected to a guy who can't eat, Marmite.
Marmite and coriander.
I don't know what your taste buds actually do. No, you guys did great. Have another sip. Savor it,
this is
enjoy
fine.
it.
I don't mind at all.
Have a big sip because you've earned it. Absolutely beautiful stuff. And what I love the most is in an area like Nicaragua where farmers, they live off the land. The land has been invested in. The way that Nespresso operate in terms of their sustainability. It's not just about, yes, having capsules that can be recycled into a number of things that we've seen on the show, but it's the way that they regreen, replant the forests and invest in a sustainable farming model as well. So that was responsibly sourced and responsibly drunk. No, drink it irresponsibly. Go.
But wait, we need to do the ceremony.
Come on.
Raul,
Would you accept?
would you accept this rose?
This bromance is getting real. Mzansi, look away. Yes, please, brother.
Well done, well done.
Yes!
With every cup, we cultivate some of the finest coffee in the world, celebrating farmers as artists, elevating every coffee moment, because with every cup, precious coffee preserves the beauty of our world. Nespresso, what else?
Oh, you can make my day.
Welcome back. We're still live here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3. The best part of the show is that we get to introduce you to brand new talent. Now, of course, Cape Town-based hip-hop artist Young Goofy YG has been involved in the music industry since 2015 and recorded his first single 2 years later. Now, YG has released about 30 songs since then as he continues to develop his sound and grow within the rap scene.
Now the rapper joins us in the studio with his fellow hip-hop artist, KB the Rapper, and they're chatting about their musical journey and 021 Awards nomination. So without further ado, let's welcome Young Goofy YG and KB the Rapper in the studio. Let's go! Firstly, gents, I gotta ask you, I gotta say firstly, thank you for joining us in the studio. It's an absolute pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
I'm loving what I'm hearing, the rehearsals, the absolute flow, the bars are on fire. But I've got to ask, I want to kick it back a little bit. For me, being an 021 kid as well, when we get nicknames, our brasse give us the names. When we like it, and it's normally because you got like a tick-up or your ears are big or something. But how do you get a cool name like Young G? Or how does it work? How do you guys get these awesome names?
Like, for me personally, right, so when I was younger, right, I used to like watching cartoon characters and all of these things. And then when I decided to start with the music business, for some reason, I enjoyed working with the initial YG because I just thought it would look good on branding, look good on caps, those type of things. And then seeing as I liked a lot of cartoon characters, and I actually supported Young Thug. Like before I did like full-time music, I was like a huge Young Thug fan, I will not deny. And then I just incorporated the Young into my name, and then, you know, the goofy character. I'm always this happy person, always this joyful person. So I thought, you know, it works well together. And it just stuck, and it's been blowing up ever since.
Blowing up indeed. And KB, my man, where does the rapper come from?
So mine is simple. Mine is simple. Look, there's two things that I love. I love music, and when I'm doing the music, I feel like a king. So that's where the K comes in.
Okay.
And I love to jump, so I feel like a beast. So I just put it together. King Beast the Rapper.
Wow.
So it's just King Beast the Rapper, and for short, KB the Rapper.
Let's go.
That's efficient, to the point, jugular.
Take us back to where it all started for both of you. Like, where did you guys get first introduced into the hip-hop scene and also into the rap scene as a whole?
Okay, so we have a mutual friend. His name is Wade Valentine. Shout out Wade.
Shout out Wade.
So he just told me one day, look, we need to get you to the next level. And I know Young Goofy, so I'm gonna message him. So I was like, okay, if you want to, you can. Then we did one song, and we were feeling it, and we're like, yo, let's continue this. And then look, it's now like a year and 6 months, year and 5 months, and we have like over 30 videos, over 30 songs. So basically he was doing his thing, I was doing my thing, but when we merged, it's just like things just started to happen slowly but surely. So
Power team, dream team, I see you there, I see you. So, gents, I mean, you've been doing some incredible stuff. I mean, the years of rapping are clearly paying off, and just of late, we're talking about the 021 Awards, 021, the area code for Cape Town, of course. We're talking about the Western Cape. Now, YG, I believe you've been nominated for Hustler of the Year, KB Hip-Hop Artist of the Year. These are some, honestly, some mad titles. I would definitely just gloat if I was to claim one of them. But, I mean, what does the nomination feel like for you guys? I mean, what does it actually mean to you?
Yeah, for me personally, it feels a lot. I mean, like she said, I've been doing this for almost about 5, this is like my 5th year of doing music now. And in the last 4 years, it was quite tough. I can definitely feel it's almost like, like I told a couple of my friends, music is almost like school. You go from grade 1 to grade 2 to grade 3, and as you progress, you actually start learning a lot more and becoming smarter in what you're actually doing. So this is like my year 5, so I'm kind of in grade 5 now, you know? Yeah. So I'm kind of stepping into that intermediate phase where I'm starting to figure out bigger stages, figure out what I need to do to get onto the bigger platforms and those things. And with getting the 021 Awards, I feel like I'm starting to get that small breakthrough where I need with that bigger platforms. Even here with it being on Expresso today, it's actually like a much bigger. For the last 4 years, I've never thought I would be live on TV. And yeah, I'm sitting today.
He's talking about grade 5. That man looks like he's graduating. Graduating, brother.
This is college level now. What about for you, KB?
So for me, like, look, there's a lot of big names in the 021 Hip Hop Awards because it's like Joburg, it's Durban, it's all of these people. So the way I felt when I got nominated, I was like, yeah, is this even true, even possible? Because, you know, like, you feel like this is fairy tales, man. And like, once you start doing something and you see like it takes long to like progress, and then you feel like, okay, you know what, this is maybe just a hobby. But then when God starts to give you some, you know, some hope, you know, so, because I mean, like, for now, I feel amazing. And week after week, I'm number one in my category. Week after week after week, I'm still number one. So people are still voting for me. The competition ends in June. So let's hope I get it, and let's hope he gets his. So.
I want to put this out there because we have this thing on the show where you say something and you word it raak krag, né? So if you had to collaborate with any maybe local artist or international artist, who do you think you'd love to collaborate with? Because look what collaboration brought you guys. I mean, amazing
Careful,
work.
because this happens.
This happens.
It does happen. It's gonna work.
So for me, I will give two artists. I will have to say Youngster
Definitely.
and Nasty C. That's my two.
Absolute legends in the game, of course.
Big names,
I'm glad
right?
for you.
Big names. I would agree with him definitely. Like, I mean, those are definitely levels we're obviously pushing towards, getting to be featured with bigger artists like that. So because you are saying local, I would definitely say like Youngster, Nasty C. There are obviously a couple other names. But then me personally, because I do have this type of smooth English accent
Okay.
when I rap also. So I normally always try to aim for international. So hopefully one day I get to feature with obviously bigger international names. But yeah, Youngster, Nasty C, those are definitely great names to look towards featuring.
Well, YGKB, man, gents, it's an absolute pleasure having this studio, of course, and I
Thanks
believe
for
it's
having
just
us.
a matter of time before we get there. But before we do, we've got some epic performances lined up from the gents, and you're
Let's
not going to
go.
want to go anywhere. Fire, 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 bars, and a lot of flow states. Stick around.
Let's go.
Yeah, an exciting lineup of awesome tunes awaits. We've heard the sound check, the dancers are here.
Oh, yes.
It's going to be epic, but time now to add a beat to one lucky viewer's Wednesday morning. We have so many contestants waiting to hear. Now, MTN has been voted, obviously, the best network in SA. We've been proclaiming it from the mountaintops. Literally, I went to the top of
you
a
did.
mountain.
You went up on Lion's Head,
to
right to
proclaim
say
it.
it. Yeah.
We've had a lot of fun putting their signal to the test in some crazy Bozo network challenges.
Yep, but
yeah,
it's time
now's
for
the
us to make it exciting for all of you guys at home. They gave you the chance to win a brand new Samsung Galaxy A series smartphone, 5G enabled with an MTN SIM and data. The question was easy. We asked you why you would like to win this amazing prize. We got lots of entries, thousands of entries, and we've got someone on the line, one of the entrants, as we do with all of the entrants coming through here, and it is Leslie Solomons. Leslie, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Leslie.
Your happiness rivals our happiness, which is fantastic. You have the most
I don't
amazing.
know how you guys do this early morning.
It's the coffee.
It's
the
a
coffee.
skill.
It's
a skill
you.
to wake up
It's people like you, Lisa Lee. I love it. So you're one of our finalists this morning, and I'm going to read through the dedication, the note that you sent through to us, okay? And this is what Lisa Lee had to say. She said, my LCD screen is literally in shambles. Squinting my eyes to read messages is insane. This would really be welcomed in my life because I'm in no position to fix a phone screen at this point in time, as I'm broke, full-time university student. Can you see the tears?
No.
The tears are flowing. Oh, man. Well, Lisa Lee, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. Out of the thousands of people who took part, we connected with yours on a deep emotional level, and we have the great pleasure of saying that you are our winner this morning!
Congratulations, Lisa Lee!
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, guys.
Listen, you're not going to be squinting to try and read messages.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
I
man.
love that.
Sorry?
So how does it feel now that you have a much-needed brand new phone? How is it going to change your life? Besides the fact that you're going to stop squinting to read
You
messages.
can see your phone now, yeah.
Listen, I cannot wait to take a proper, decent selfie. Let me tell you, I cannot wait to take a selfie.
Oh, man, and this takes some really, really good selfies. So on that note, actually, we've been talking a lot about the features of the phone. What feature are you most excited for with this phone?
I think the camera quality, and especially with the storage space of the phone, because wow, it's been a problem trying to store all of my content and all of my university assignments onto my phone. So I think that is going to be so welcomed in my life, guys. I can't even explain it to you, because as a university student, we have thousands of assignments that we need to do on a weekly basis. So for me to always find space on my phone to store them so that I know where they are, it's been a hazard in my life.
Oh, man, it's going to really change your life.
It really is.
Beautiful
2 days
way.
of battery. 2 days of battery, girl.
So
you can forget about charging.
Well, you've got no excuses for not submitting your assignments on time anymore. I'm sorry, load shedding isn't going to be your excuse. But Lisa Lee, one of the best things about a phone like this is when you make those video calls and you feel like you are seeing the person in HD and you want to dive straight into the phone. Who is that first person you're going to be calling off of this phone?
Definitely 100% my best friend. Definitely.
Is that to gloat? Is that to gloat? give her a quick shout out.
Something at least.
Yeah, no, completely. You've earned the right there. What's her name?
Her name is Nompalisi Albert.
Well, we just made her famous. We just made you famous. Your photos have just come up on screen. Yeah. Your social media game is going to change. Your assignment game is going to change. And of course, you get a SIM card and fully loaded with 1,000 Rand data as well.
Yeah.
You are on your way, sister. So all the best of luck with your studies. And congratulations. You seem like such a wonderful person. I'm so glad that we were able to make you a winner this morning. Well done.
Thank you so much, and thank you to you guys and to MTN. I am over the moon, guys. I don't even mind waking up 6 o'clock again tomorrow if there's another competition.
We'll keep you posted.
We'll keep you in mind when we have another competition. Well, I love this for you, Lisa Lee. This Friday, we're going to be announcing the final MTN Mzansi Boza Network winner. And the thing is, it could just be you. You too could be smiling and laughing and wanting to wake up at 6 o'clock or 4 a.m. or 2 a.m. like Lisa Lee. Congratulations, Lisa Lee.
Only you can make my day.
Here's to you, Mzansi. Get 50% off the attorney bond registration fee plus 5,000 Rand cashback on your approved home loan. Dial *120 *001 *123 hash to find out how much you qualify for.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It is your feel-good breakfast show. Yes.
Indeed. You look stunning still. I can't get over it.
Thank you, my
cannot
love.
get over it.
You look amazing, as always.
Thank you. What a look.
You didn't make me coffee, but that's okay.
It's on the way.
We still get to connect with you on social media platforms. It's all about home and how to elevate your home this morning on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And we're asking you on social media, how do you make your house a home? And I'm very interested to see what you had to say.
Yep, the theme is home. The comments have come through fast and furiously. The first one from Nicole Bayliss, who says, my family, period. Let it be noisy or quiet, whichever way. Just being with my family makes our place a home.
Yeah,
I
Nicole.
love that.
Matabo Nkomo says, my kids, when they're not home and it's all quiet, it's so boring. But when they are home, it's all love all around. That noise and shouting, it is love. I wake up shouting and sleep shouting. God bless our children. I hear you.
Oh, children, man. Sometimes you don't want them in the home, but most times you need them in the home to make it a home. And then the other comment here is from Audrey Yankees. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Yankees. My kids are the joy in our home. When they're not home, it's way too quiet and boring. Having them around means everything to me, even though I have to shout all day. They're my life. Is this not the same thing?
I do
I think everybody just loves their children, and that's just what it is.
And to shout.
And to shout. I think parents actually secretly enjoy shouting. It makes a home home. Am I lying? Use the hashtag Expresso Show. Let us know what you think. What makes your home home? We want to find out from you this morning.
No, I definitely agree with you there. I'm pretty sure secretly these parents actually do love all the noise and the chaos, clearly if all our answers are involving kids. But one thing I see that we've missed out, and when it comes to making a house a home, one thing that never fails, it's got to be a delicious home-cooked meal. And I'm getting nostalgia just thinking about my mom's in the kitchen now. Bring the sun-kissed flavors of the Mediterranean to your table with our baked stuffed peppers. That's what's going down this morning. And this recipe makes for an easy midweek light dinner or even a veggie side to add to any roast main. And here to show us how it's done is the beautiful, gorgeous, illustrious Jenny Morris in the building. Yes,
You say such nice things. Are you doing your good deed for the week?
I can only come to the show and be honest, nothing else.
Oh, I'm loving you. I'm loving you. So get here right
Yes,
next
ma'am.
to me.
What can I do this morning? What do you need me to do?
I
What's
want
happening?
you to pack those peppers out beautifully
Okay.
onto that tray.
All right, I've already cut them.
And then we're definitely going to taste the Mediterranean here. We've got some lovely cooked rice, but you could use orzo, you could use quinoa, any kind of grain,
like
which
any grain
is
in that.
wonderful.
Lovely.
Herbs, once again, Mediterranean parsley. You could use coriander, you could use
Lots of
thyme.
coriander for G if he was making this one. I
Oh,
know he loves that.
absolutely. Yes, 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 yes. Garlic. You've got to have garlic, doll. And the rice has been cooked already with salt in it, so we're going to put lots and lots of pepper. Very good for you. The king of spices.
The king of spices?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
And then cardamom's the little queen.
Okay.
I know a couple of queens, but cardamom is absolutely delicious as well. You could
Jenny,
actually...
I think if you were a spice, you'd probably be the queen of all spices.
Darling, I'd be a little chili pepper.
Unfortunately, we're not that lucky, eh?
And then some tomatoes. Now, you can just open a can. You can use fresh ones. We've made your life very easy.
I'm watching this. You're making it look very easy. You literally haven't even gotten any of your hands dirty. You're using
Not
one...
today.
Not
One
today.
spoon.
One spoon, literally, and just whisking around. So
And you're
I've
gonna give
got
me
your
that.
half cut up peppers, which I've pulled out all the seeds for, so it's created
Exactly.
a nice shell.
Yes, and the pith. Take the pith out. The pith is the white.
Are you not lisping right now?
No,
and
no,
saying,
no. I'm talking
trying to say
about like the pith. Yeah. I'm not taking the pith. And then just top them up and fill them up. You know what's really nice is what I love about this is you could turn it, like you were saying, into a main dish. You could add meat to this, some minced pork or minced chicken.
A little mince. Even like we did on the show on Monday, I saw we used like a mince variant, like a salt mince. So that could be like a meat-free.
Delicious.
I'm getting some good ideas on this. And then if you want to be naughty, I can only just imagine just all the cheeses that you could think of being melted on top of this.
Me, well,
all of them.
It's got plenty of cheese for us, Doc.
Oh, yes, please.
So I've made one up front.
Wait, is that it?
That's it.
Simple as that?
And we just take some beautiful feta and just squish it over the top. I like chunks of feta, so I like to really, because I'm a greedy girl, as you know. And then you just feta that whole thing over the top. And then what we do is we take a clean spoon, bring that plate. And Mama wants to feed you.
Oh, yes, please.
What is your favorite color?
Today, let's go with red.
Oh, I told you chili pepper.
That's my favorite today, of course. How can I say no to that? So am I getting a taste of this? Yes, please.
You are. Mama
It
feeds
looks
you,
like
but
it
not...
also-
This is naked. We want to put something blissful on it. Some lovely clover bliss.
Bliss, of course, adding some nutritional value to that as well, which I
And
absolutely love.
flavour. I mean, it just is... Look at this. It's all thick and
And I see you using the
yummy.
double cream variant here.
Oh, yes, darling. Look at that.
Yes,
Just look
please.
at that. This is a dessert, and it's a lovely on baked potatoes, and I'm really swimming it for you. Would you like some more of this? My hands are clean. They're sterilised. You know that I'm a good girl.
Don't worry. I'm just ready to tuck into this.
Look at that. I really want to do half-naked chef with you one day.
Half-naked chef?
Yes. We're just going to take off the apron, take off the shirt, and you're going to just cook in your jeans.
Well, we'll let Mzansi decide if they might want to see that. You guys can let us know on our social media channels. Half-naked chef with myself and Jenny Morris, let us know. Maybe you'll see something new next week on the show.
It's got a 10-pack.
But before we do, I must just say, the fact that you've added all these beautiful ingredients to this, and on top of it, we're also adding this creaminess. It just makes me know that this is going to be absolutely delicious.
Love it.
While I tuck into this, of course, you guys can get this recipe on theexpressoshow.com. All the variation, all the inspiration you need for this Wednesday.
Yum.
Jenny Morris. The closest thing, if it wasn't for you being a spice, this is a yes. It's a yes.
Loving
this
you.
is all the spice, all the flavor, all the variation I need. You have served us well, Jane Morris. Thank
I
you very
love you.
much.
Enjoy, sweet pie.
I'm tucking in. Check it out, guys.
Only you can make my day.
Does a room in your home desperately need a deep clean and declutter experience? This could be your chance to upgrade your space for you and your family to enjoy. SA's online cleaning hub, Cleanipedia, is giving away 2 room transformations worth 30,000 Rand each. Visit cleanipedia.com/ZA and sign up to enter. You could also stand a chance to win weekly prize hampers. Get easy, expert cleaning tips for a happier home at cleanipedia.com/ZA.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're still live here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And you are in for a treat right now. Get ready to hear some bars, because after a difficult 2020, many new artists have put in the groundwork to produce their best possible music and performances. We know this. Now, 2 artists who know about hard work and chasing their dreams are Young Goofy, YG, and KB, the rapper. We got to speak to them earlier on. And now their first of 3 performances this morning will be the track Non-Stop, which speaks of putting in the work to get to the top. And Young Goofy and KB will be joined by Mitchell's Plain-based dance crew, the Street Kings. So guys, take it away.
Let's go. Yeah, hey. Wow. Dame la ciencia. Yeah. Look. It's time to take a break, man. Me and my team, we took a holiday. We deserve the break because we just be hustling every week and we just be working. Everybody wondering how we doing it. Me and my team, we took a holiday. We deserve a break because we just be hustling every week and we just be working. Everybody wonder how we be doing it. So I just tell them every day I gotta flow. Writing new lyrics while I'm on the road. I'm working non-stop because you know I gotta get it and I gotta blow. So I just tell them every day I gotta flow. Writing new bars while I'm on the road. I'm working non-stop because you know I gotta get it and I gotta blow. I'm getting better. I can never, you will never see me fall. You just wanna hate, you just fool up. You already smell like drones. People hating, but they calling me up because they all just wanna get involved. I guess I just gotta show them all the headlines because I be balling. I got the magic, I do the action. Push me, touch me, that satisfaction. But the sucker like Michael Blackson. Pull up, script, new whip, new mansion. Look at the fashion, I got the passion. If I'm gonna walk just like Michael Jackson, I might just sing on the beat and then I might sound like I'm singing on Idol. So call me, so I can make it juicy for ya. I make that kitty wanna pout that blood a soonchi for ya. I don't wanna play no games, no specs and boonchies for ya. I just do it for my squad, dream team, holla. So I keep going, People watching every day, they already know. Look, that I'm never resting, okay, cause I gotta blow. I'm climbing to the top of the charts, driving in foreign cars, and doing what I want. Me and my team, we took a holiday. We deserve a break, we just be hustling every week, and we just be working. Everybody wonder how we be doing it. Me and my team, we took a holiday. We deserve the break, cause we just be hustling every week, weekend, we just be working. Everybody wondering how we doing it. So I just tell them every day I gotta flow. Writing the bars while I'm on the road. I'm working non-stop, cause you know I gotta get it and I gotta. So I just tell them every day I gotta flow. Writing new lyrics while I'm on the road. I'm working non-stop, cause you know I gotta get it and I gotta blow. See, I'm not just chasing. Chasing to be at the top of my family tree. Chasing a dream. Chasing to be at a height that everybody else wanna be.
Okay, he's Batman, Bruce Wayne. I'm like Superman to this game. Man, I'm so high, I'm so fly. My Uber is a plane.
I feel I'm winning. I'm repping 021, my mother city. Got them screaming for more, and man, it's only the beginning.
Now just like Iscom, you don't have no energy, boy. I knock over, bulldozer, dozer. I come to destroy.
We started with hold up. 1 year later, we be filling the internet. I feel like me and my team could walk up to any homie and go smoke them like cigarettes. Cause me and my team, we got the flows and the bars and the punchlines to finish them. Nobody came close, nobody out here delivering. Huh?
If you wanna jump, go bungee. I stay humble. If I keep it moving, just like a Vanti. Hustle hard, make time for the country, boy. I'm big deal. Man size, you small fry, you minimize. No Tupac, but trust me, on me there is all eyes.
Me and my team, we took a holiday. We deserve the break, cause we just be hustling every week and we just be working. What are we doing? And me and my team,
we took a holiday. We deserve a break, and we just be hustling every week and we just be working. Everybody wonder how we be doing it.
So I just tell them every day I gotta flow. Writing new lyrics while I'm on the road. I'm working non-stop cause you know I gotta get it and I gotta blow.
So I just tell them every day I gotta flow. Writing new bars while I'm on the road. I'm working non-stop cause you know I gotta get it and I gotta blow.
Hey.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go,
Non-stop entertainment from YG, Young Goofy and KB the Rapper. Still 2 more performances coming your way on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. So don't go anywhere. But right now, it's time to head on over to those news headlines.
It's all the buzz. Thank you very much, Jamie Lee. Time for us to take a look at those news headlines just after 7 o'clock here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. The International Monetary Fund, that's the IMF, yesterday revised its growth outlook for South Africa upwards, which is good news as the country is battling to recover from the effects of the COVID-19 lockdown with record unemployment. It's revised its growth figures of 2.8% to 3.1% for this year. The IMF has estimated global growth to expand by 6% this year, and it said that this was due to accelerated vaccinations and a flood of government spending on ways to beat COVID-19. Staying in South Africa has now signed an agreement with Pfizer for 20 million dual-shot COVID-19 vaccine doses, thereby boosting plans to start mass vaccinations this month. The deal adds to the 31 million single-shot doses from Johnson & Johnson, which the government approved last week. Health experts have argued, or rather urged, the government to scale up its vaccination program in light of speculation that the country is likely to be hit by a 3rd wave of infections in the coming months. In international news, a report commissioned by President Emmanuel Macron says France's role before and during the 1994 Rwandan genocide, which left over 800,000 people dead, was a monumental failure that the country must acknowledge. Macron's decision to commission the report and to open the archives to the public are part of his efforts to more fully confront the French role in the genocide and to improve relations with Rwanda, including making April the 7th, the day of the massacre, the day that the massacre began, a day of commemoration. Meanwhile, Tanzania's new president, 61-year-old Samia Suluhu Hassan, has announced that bans slapped on a number of media outlets by her predecessor, John Magufuli, who died last month, are to be lifted. She said media rules, regulations and penalties should be transparent so that everyone knows what to expect should they do wrong. Earlier, the country's first female president announced plans to appoint a panel of experts to advise her on how best to curb the spread of the coronavirus, reversing her predecessor's denialism of the pandemic. And now news from Canada of an amazing feat by a Maremma sheepdog. Now, Hayley Moore of Stittsville in Ottawa, Canada, now firmly believes everything about her Maremma sheepdog, Clover, that this dog type is intelligent and also loyal, gentle and affectionate towards its handlers. After her experience of late having a seizure while walking Clover, she vouches for all these qualities. Now, Clover basically saved her life by flagging down help from a passing vehicle after she had collapsed. CCTV footage from a neighbor's security camera showed how Clover reacted. She frees her leash from her owner's hand and blocks a truck's path, forcing it to stop. Now, the driver, 21-year-old Darren Otway, told Canada's CTV News, and I quote, "It was absolutely impressive. The dog actually blocked my way. She kind of backed into the road to block my truck. Clover then dashed home, barking frantically at the front door, alerting Haley's father. And when he rushed out, Clover bounded ahead, barking all the way to where Haley was, and she was treated by paramedics and recovered. Now, Clover was given a steak dinner treat as a thank you for her incredible response. Incidentally, though, should you wish to buy a Maremma sheepdog, it's only going to set you back some 36,000 rand. Something to think about there. That's where we leave it for now. Here's a look at what's happening in sports with Graham.
Thanks so much, Tabiso. Let's start with rugby, and it's official. The Springboks have now begun their preparations for the British and Irish Lions tour taking place in July this year. The reigning Rugby World Cup champions have started preparing with groups of players who will be attending alignment camps this month. Director of Rugby, Rassie Erasmus, and Bok head coach, Jacques Ninamba, will meet with a number of players to present their plans for the 2021 rugby season. Then overseas-based Springbok players who are playing in the United Kingdom, France and Ireland, and there are quite a few, will also gather, and virtual meetings will take place for those based in Japan. Now on to football. Defending Premier Soccer League champions Mamelodi Sundowns have now opened a 6-point lead at the top of the standings. That was after seeing off Chakuma Madzivandila 3-1 at the Peter Mokaba Stadium. The Brazilians now sitting on 43 points on the log, while Chakuma, they remain languishing in 15th place. That's definitely a relegation playoff spot at this point. In other PSL results from yesterday, Kaizer Chiefs and Stellenbosch FC, they played out to a 2-2 draw in a pretty thrilling clash at the F&B Stadium. The Amakosi, they're now in 9th place, Stellies in 10th, just behind them on the log. Then staying with the beautiful game, but on probably the biggest stage, Spanish giants Real Madrid were too good for Liverpool in the first leg of their UEFA Champions League quarter-finals that played out in Spain last night. Los Blancos outclassing the Reds by 3-1. Manchester City, they've also recorded a first-leg win that was up against Borussia Dortmund at the Etihad Stadium. City beating the visitors 2-1. The second leg of both quarter-final fixtures will take place on the 14th of April. Then, of course, tonight it's Porto taking on Chelsea, and Bayern Munich, they face Paris Saint-Germain at 9 p.m. Now, news ahead of the Olympics. North Korea has announced that they will not be taking part in the 2021 Tokyo Olympics, taking place in July and August this year. The decision was made in order to protect their athletes from the coronavirus. So the announcement makes North Korea the first major country to skip the Games because of the pandemic. The Tokyo Olympics is scheduled to take place from the 23rd of July till the 8th of August, with a very strong South African contingent headed that way. That's where we leave our sport for now. Uncle Tubbsy is standing by to take us through some of your beautiful sunrise pictures.
Thank you, G-Man. Back with your weather and your sunrise pictures. Thank you very much to all of our viewers that have shared their gorgeous sunrise photos with us. We love getting a glimpse into your part of the world. Now, Jafuna Perez shared this cloudy morning with the sun peeking through in the distance. Take a look at that. How beautiful is that picture? Really beautiful. And then a regular photographer and contributor, Ntokozo Theo Makatini, shared another one of his beautiful photos with us, showing off a cloudy morning with the sun's rays glowing across the sky in Joburg. Beautiful picture. Thank you, Ntokozo Theo Makatini. Now, today we'll have times of sun and thunder showers while reaching a maximum of 20 degrees Celsius out there in Johannesburg. So please, everybody out there in the country, continue to share your photos with us on the Expresso Facebook page. We love to see how you start your day. Now, while we enjoy experiencing a sunrise from your part of South Africa, we do have some international viewers who tune in on both YouTube and the Africa channel in the USA. This morning, we're giving a brief update on Boston, Massachusetts. It is the capital of this state. Now, Boston, best known for its famous baked beans, Fenway Park, the Boston Marathon, and of course, for the bar from Cheers. The city is also well known for its world-renowned research institutions like MIT, Harvard, as well as Tufts. Now, today we'll have times of sun and clouds while reaching a maximum of 13 degrees Celsius out there. Enjoy it. And now, news of NASA's Mars mission. The mini helicopter Ingenuity has survived its first night alone on the Martian surface detached from the Perseverance rover. Ingenuity is to undertake what will be the first ever flight of an alien planet, or rather on an alien planet, when the rotorcraft attempts a lift-off in the coming days. The mini chopper is now dependent on its own solar-powered battery to keep it protected from the Martian night, when the temperatures can dip to minus 90 degrees Celsius. If all systems perform satisfactorily, then the rotorcraft will attempt the first ever flight on Sunday or later. It carries as a memento the tribute to Earth's flight pioneers, a piece of cloth that covered one of the wings of the Wright brothers aircraft. Now, the aim is for Ingenuity to hover at 3 meters above the surface for some 30 seconds before touching back down. And Perseverance will then download data collected by Ingenuity, and the team will then be able to ascertain whether the flight had been a success or not. Interesting stuff over there. Let's take a look at those temperatures across the country. We start off with Polokwane, a low of 12 today, reaching a high of 25 degrees. If you're out in Mbombela, times of sun and clouds today. 17 is where you start off, peaking at 27, with some sun and thunder showers for Pretoria. 40% chance of rain. 14 is your low, reaching a high of 23. With sun and thunder showers out in Johannesburg, 12, reaching a max of 20 degrees. If you're out in Mahikeng, 12 is your low, reaching a high of 22, with thunder showers expected for Klerksdorp today, 12, reaching a high of 23. Kimberley, your temperatures 15 and 27, with Bloemfontein starting off at 10 today, reaching a high of 25. Richards Bay, sun and clouds, 19, reaching a high of 29. With a 25% chance of rain for Pietermaritzburg today. 15 is your low, reaching highs of 30. South Africa's playground, Durban, 21, reaching a high of 29, with Mthatha starting off at 13 and reaching a max of 29. If you're out in East London, 17, reaching a max of 25, with Craddock starting off at 11, reaching a maximum of 32 degrees. Gqeberha, 15 and 24, with George at 13, reaching highs of 22. The mother city, Cape Town, 16, that's your low, reaching a high of 23, with Worcester at 13, peaking at 30. Sutherland, sun and clouds, 0% chance of rain there, 9, reaching a high of 25. And lastly, Uppington, sun and clouds today, 18, peaking at 32 degrees. That's where we leave it for now. Remember to send us those beautiful sunrise pictures on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3.
Exciting times, and we want you to open up to these exciting times, open up to new opportunities to get enthralled. The Estate is a brand new telenovela that is launched on SABC3, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, gee, it came out on Monday, and people are talking, people are buzzing.
Loving it, man.
Zanzi is absolutely loving it, and we've got the 411 and a new latest scoop coming right at you after this. Don't go anywhere.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Wow, JP Sebastian in the building, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Your feel-good breakfast show, and the man is here himself to serve us when it comes to the latest in movies and trailers, and I am here to be fed, my friend. What's happening this week?
Good, because I'm usually here with the latest trailers trying to give you stuff that enticed me. So
Okay,
don't worry, it's not a review. Like, you get very worried about when I'm about to smear the entirety of Hollywood.
Because you are a hard man to please, JP.
And movies are hard to watch. So these are the ones that actually tickled my fancy.
Okay,
That's
wow.
something people still say in 2020.
So that in itself,
I have a
Mzansi,
fancy.
just the fact that it tickled his fancy, that's huge. That means he slightly maybe had a little smile or
Stop
something.
discussing my fancy in public.
So what's up first?
First one is called Spirit Untamed.
Okay.
This is one for the horse girls. Today is your day. Sorry, I had an ex who was a horse girl. They're interesting.
It's a big thing, though. I mean, it's a genuine connection. The horses are like for life almost, man.
Have you seen the video of the girl imitating a horse on all fours?
No.
It was viral. Magical stuff. Watch that on your time. But let's talk about the animation.
Let's talk about the movie, yeah.
So this is from back in 2002. There was one called Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron. That was the one that the famous Bryan Adams song came from. It's a new day. It's new life. I'm not going to do the cheesy Bryan Adams song.
You need to get you on karaoke as well, by the way.
You really
I like
shouldn't, because I have enough of a litany of crimes that the police are looking for me for. This is, so all of these movies, and this in this segment, it's all animations, and all of them are about girls who are fish out of water in a way. City girl goes to the country.
Okay.
We've heard the story a couple of times before, and she, in a way, has to tame maybe her brattiness, maybe her sense of, I deserve life this way, and maybe because she's acting out because of her own stuff that she's going through, and that's mirrored in a stallion that she's got to try and tame when she gets there, and forms a special, like you said, a bond with, because shame, I guess horses do like form special connections with people. And so this is definitely one for the kids. I'm not huge on, what do you think of like CG animation versus like hand-drawn kind of flat stuff that we grew up with, Lion King or
Obviously,
whatever?
I'm an appreciative of all things old school and classic, purely because of the effort, the energy, and everything else that goes into it. But, I mean, I can't deny the fact that using this type of medium allows for some ease of passing a message through. So for me, why I say that, JP, is purely because I see something like this offering principal value and lessons to youngsters. Because in today's age, we don't always have the inspiration in real life. So CGI makes it a lot more consumable.
It feels like a shame when you have to put a kid in front of a movie for that. But in fact, no, that's what movies are supposed to be. They're little empathy engines. Teach you to try and, realize that you've got a gland that you can exercise to love others and love your neighbor and love horses if you have to. Spirit Untamed will be in SA at some point. I can't remember the date offhand.
This year at least?
Yeah, no. Well, all of these that I'm talking about, fortunately, are for this year thus far. That's pandemic, permitting.
All right, so going from potential life lessons for kids, where we're moving to from here, we've got something by the name of
Bell's just fine. Yeah, so this is a Japanese animation. You were talking about how fond you are about Spirited Away.
The absolute legendary classic.
That is character Belle, who is in this parallel life, a pop star, beloved by millions. So there's this tension between what she wants to be, what she thinks she has to be, etc., etc. But all of that aside, you can see it's just total eye candy. And if the dude was...
Speaking of the medium that you spoke about, CGI versus the old school, I mean, I must just say, looking at the trailer, there's this weird beauty, and the way they just showcase some of
the stuff you can achieve with hand drawing is just like CGI wishes still.
Absolutely.
So if we can talk about the next one, I don't know if my director's telling me I have
please
time.
bring
Let's
it on.
go
I'm
ahead.
here for it.
So speaking about hand drawing again, the next one, the name has just Wolf Walkers. That's right.
Wolf Walkers.
Oh my goodness, what a beautiful movie, guys!
This
Please
looks
watch
like a Jack and the Beanstalk Cinderella fusion, and what's going on here?
Sure, why not? And so it's based in, I suppose, Irish mythology, and it's from the studio who previously brought us another Oscar-nominated movie. Was well, it wasn't The Culls, it was. Darn it. No, I forgot the name. But what I really love is that you've got these small studios who are coming up, like Leica, for example, who made Kubo and the Two Strings. You have this studio, which is Cartoon Saloon in Ireland, who made The Culls and, I forget the name. Oh, they move. Anyway, the point is they're such a tiny studio. And they're going up against Disney. They're going up against Pixar, and they're knocking it out of the park. Did that in my Irish accent for whatever reason. So you've got this little girl. No one likes that. My accents are terrible. There's a little girl who's in 1650 Ireland, uprooted from Britain with her father, where she goes to Ireland from Britain. So they're, again, sort of fish out of water. Her father is a wolf hunter, where he's supposed to be there to clear the forest on behalf of the locals, and finds that there are these wolf creatures who are half human, half wolf. The girl gets bitten. She finds that she's a wolf too and has to empathize with nature being taken away by industrialization, by colonization of the British by the Irish. It is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I wish I could talk to you about this for 2 hours. Good grief, what they did for one of the scenes is that they modeled in 3D first the movement of a wolf through a 3D forest, and then hand drew over each frame.
Imposed over that. Oh, wow.
To get the thing that CG cannot get, which is texture, which is life, which is style. Oh, man. Watch this movie. Do whatever you have to.
Sebastian coming through with the goods, of course. It's got a synonymous Samurai Jack feel to it as well.
Good call, yeah,
Epic adventure, but of course the
and
man
also
is...
Oscar nominated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for this year.
Wow, that's every reason to watch it, of course, guys. So stick around. We are coming through with some more magic from JP in a little bit, and you're not going to want to go anywhere.
Oh, we were just saying we love JP so much. I love him so much,
especially
man.
when he goes into like body language expressionist
Just he loves
way
it,
of
man.
expressing.
I'm so excited about those films now. We love it. So we're excited about a lot at the moment. We're excited about opening up to brand new opportunities on TV. And after weeks of anticipation, what a build-up. The exciting new Mzansi telenovela, The Estate, hit S3 screens this past Monday, and it's already got everyone talking.
It's my favorite thing to watch. In fact, so much so that when I heard that it was coming on SABC3, I had to fly up to Joburg, spend a few days out there with some of the stars there to find out how this complex world really does come together. And I got to connect with one of our favorites on this show, Dineo Langa. Check this out. You're with your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, here on SABC3 for your dose of Feel Good this morning. Thanks for joining us. So, still connecting with you all the way from Johannesburg, where we're catching up behind the scenes with the cast and crew of a hit series coming your way on the 5th of April. It's called The Estate here on SABC3. Now, it's all about a whole really mix-up of stories, but what it's also about is the talented people who bring the magic to screen and who will do so on the 5th of April. One of them is this lady standing next to me, Dineo Langa, who is no stranger to our screens. I mean, you've given so much of yourself to South Africa over the years, Dineo. So good to see you.
Good to see you.
Wow. So whether you're acting or presenting, whatever it is that you do, you really just give all of the life to us. But here you are on this new show to give life or breathe life into the character of Makwena Molefe.
Yes.
Who you've got to tell us about.
She is a bit complicated, right? She's got shades and tones to her that, yes, you'll find with a young and upcoming successful woman who is young. She's trying to become a senior advocate. In fact, she's well on her way there. She's very, very established in her work community. Her Achilles heel is her husband, Lesiba Molefe. And, you know, she's got some secrets in her bag of tricks, and it's not, I can't say it's not bad, because I try as the actor, you can't judge the character.
I hear that a
right?
lot, but surely you must walk out sometimes and go, yeah, like that woman is a bit of a...
I do, and then I go, I understand. Well, and also you've got to weigh out the pros and cons. You've got to put yourself in that situation and go, what do I do in that situation? You know, why judge her so harshly when you know that this is such an intense difficulty that you wouldn't be able to carry it to get to the point that you're looking to get to as an achiever, as an academic, as, you know, a legal lion.
Yeah. There's so much interesting stuff that you're saying here, and it all feeds into the chemistry which people are going to get to see and experience on screen when you and Lesiba, who plays your husband, appear on our screens. And I mean, it's quite a dynamic relationship. How did you and Matli, of course, you know, connect and bring that chemistry together?
Oh, it was very interesting because when we both heard that we gotten the job, we were like, this is hilarious. Because I guess, Matli, this is our third time working together.
Really?
It's our third time working together.
You worked together on Soul City, I
Soul
believe,
City,
a couple
we
of
were
years ago.
siblings in Soul City, so now it's just a bit of a...
Now you're married. It's a bit strange.
Yeah, it's not... I guess you don't judge the work as well.
Yes.
But yeah, this is our third time working together, so we really have had the prep time that no one else on the show has had. And sort of like a a professional understanding between the two of us, where we're able to go, okay, this is where the scene is going. How do we feel? How do we interpret it? And it's not where anybody's ego comes to the fore and takes any sort of offense, right? Because these are two people in a very complicated relationship. It is not easy, because also you must remember, Mokoena is in a place in her life where economically things are opening up for her.
Yes.
And from a moral standpoint, her husband comes from a place of the less you have to give to yourself is better than acquiring all these things and not having anything to give to the world, to people who are in need. He's a social worker. She's a lawyer.
And you are so different, that contrast.
Exactly, but they also, when they met, it was all about, you know, we're both going for it. We're both going to be people who help people because our backgrounds, which you'll find in the story. But yeah, it gets very tricky very quickly.
What's going to make people really connect with or just pull away from Mokoena? What is the thing about Mokoena that's going to at least have us ticking in some way or another?
I can't tell you what's going to make them pull away. I swear I can't. I wish I could. Because I know the exact thing.
Is she dark at points? And does the darkness overweigh?
No, I don't think she's dark. I think she's made some dark choices.
Oh, so that's a lesson right there.
She's
dark
made
choices don't make the woman dark.
Exactly.
Oh, hey.
So yeah, there's a point at which they love her, and I think a lot of women will empathize with her. They'll understand where she's coming from, because in South Africa, you know, we are in an era where women are more frequently empowered than men are. So it's a bit tricky when you find those households where the woman is achieving and the man is not so much. So it's just one of those things that you'll find a point of relatability, but there will be a point where I think the audience, male or female, will turn against her.
Oh, I'm so excited. My appetite really is buzzing. You've got my full attention, and the cast, hello, as you can see for yourself, is exactly what you want to be seeing at that time. Dino Olanga, thank you so much, and I really can't wait to see you come alive as Mokoena Molefe on our TV screens.
Thank you so much.
We love her, right? Connect with us on our social media, #Expresso Show. Let us know what you think of this character, and maybe some of your predictions of the type of person or character this is going to be. My favorite character of the estate, really? Mokoena.
But she's such a legend, and she's still so young, which blows my mind. But she's so intense, smoldering, absolutely amazing. Trust us, you do not want to miss any of the drama, the intrigue taking place in this brand new telenovela. It's The Estate. And you've got to say it like that, eh?
The Estate.
The Estate.
Catch it weekdays, 7 p.m. here on S3, where they help you. Open up.
In a world where everything seems perfect, high walls, high life, high expectations.
There's a solid buzz around the development. I'm sure they're gonna buy it.
When the truth refuses to stay buried.
What do you think you're doing? You gave me a word.
And the past comes knocking.
I come bearing gifts and surprises.
Betrayal can lead to destruction. Introducing a new daily drama with an award-winning cast. The Estate starts Monday the 5th of April at 7 on 3.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Clover cheese is for those who love life, where everything falls into place and melts away our cares, adding joy and stretching our imagination. Clover, for the love of cheese.
Made with love by Clover.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Love at First Bite here in the Expresso kitchen. Of all the delicious ways you can enjoy potatoes, serving them in a rich, gooey, oven-baked recipe has got to be one of our very favorites. And serve it as a side dish, or maybe you can use it as a main, as long as you make it with superior quality of Clover cheese. You are guaranteed to get the very best result from the humble spud. Jenny Morris, sounds yummy as the uproar that you just created on social media. Everybody is talking about the half-naked show. So
it's not going to be you. It's going to be him.
Is it going to be him? And yeah, we're getting everybody. We're just rallying everybody to be part of the half-naked show.
Well, let's vote. Let's take a vote. Eh? What do you say?
Definitely. You know, people's already been saying on social media, they're like,
really?
Yes. So now we have to give the people what they want. You see what you started?
Absolutely, darling.
Okay, let's talk about the food.
I'm going to give you what you are going to absolutely love. Your mouth is going to love you, and you're going to keep coming back for more. I'm going to make a little bit of a roux. It's like a start of a lovely white sauce. We've got some leeks in there, all nice and buttery. We've got garlic, which is antioxidant, it's antibacterial. It's antibiotic and antisocial, and who cares, because I love it. And we've got some fresh thyme. You could use dried thyme as well. I'm actually such a lazy girl, so I'm going to just break it up and pull the stems out later. But don't serve it with the stems, because you could actually poke somebody in the face, you know?
Well, I mean, if you wanted to poke somebody in the face, then that would be a great idea.
Well, I do that all the time, but you've got to be kind, you've got to be nice. So what we want to do here is, while you're mixing those two beautiful Clover cheeses together for me,
certainly, and
I want to cook the flour out a little bit, Jamie, because, you know, have you ever had like a sauce where it tastes raw? Like the flour tastes raw.
I'm not calling out any of my family members on here, but it's happened before, and I'm not going to say anything, but unfortunately I have had that experience.
Okay, so here's a little tip for everybody out there, is just to let that flour cook out a little bit, get those little starch bubbles to explode, and it also helps to release the starch into the sauce, and it'll thicken beautifully. So now I'm going to have some salt. If you've got high blood pressure, use a little no salt or a little bit less salt, but you know what? I want to use all the salt. I love it. And just to get that going, you can start smelling the garlic is starting to release. The minute I've released those beautiful flavors of the garlic, I call it the perfume. You can call it the stink. They call it the stinking rose.
No, but the stinking rose tastes
she's delicious.
Oh, she's delicious.
And this is half milk and half cream. This is going to be a magnificent sauce. And we just want to get it to start to thicken. Now, by cooking out those little starch bubbles, this is going to thicken quicker. So I'm going to put the heat up a bit and just keep an eye on it. And what's lovely about this is we're going to put some chicken in it. So you can cook the chicken specifically, or you can go and buy one, or the lovely way to use up last night's supper. Absolutely.
And like I mentioned earlier on, the best part of this is that it can either be like a main dish, because we're adding some protein to that, or it can be a side dish. I think this would be perfect for a nice bride.
Absolutely.
And then play around with your protein. Some bacon would be lovely with this as well. Am I speaking
bacon,
your language?
salami,
yes, everything.
Bacon, anything goes.
Anything you want.
Anything goes. Okay. So this will continue to cook and thicken up in the oven, because it goes into the oven for about 30 to 40 minutes. And the way we do it is we layer. So we put a little layer of sauce down.
The sauce down.
I'm going to put a little bit of sauce down, like so. And then we're going to put some potatoes. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous?
That already.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. As I said, it'll thicken up beautifully in the oven. I'll put about that much on it.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
Okay, now let's put some potatoes on top of that.
You can lay that.
Do you want to help me?
Yes, sir.
You go this side. Don't touch my side. See?
I will.
I'm sanitized.
I will stick to my side.
Go.
I will stick to my side. I'm also sanitized. And then it's beautiful.
And then what you can do is you can just put a nice little sprinkling of cheese on top of that. And the potatoes are cut nice and thin so that they can... And in fact, darling, just put a really good sprinkling of cheese on top of that.
Do you know the sad reality is that I used to be allergic to cheese for the longest time. So for about 15 years of my life, I did not eat cheese. I used to have this like... just reaction.
Oh, no.
And then I slowly started introducing it back into my system, and now...
And now you're in love with it.
live without it.
Make sure it's everywhere, because you know what? If you were cooking for your boyfriend, your husband's ex-wife, and they were sitting at the table and you left that bit without cheese, she'd say, oh God, Jamie can't
I
cook.
did it on purpose. Well, if your husband's ex-wife do want to get her hands on this recipe, expressoshow.com is where you can find that and all the list of ingredients for her.
That's enough, darling. I mean, no, you're a happy girl, I can see. Potatoes. Let's go patates.
Patates. This
and
is
then
heaven.
lastly, we're going to do cheese, and I've made one up front, as one does. And I'm going to feed you, Mama. You know what to do, huh?
When I know you're in the kitchen, I know I'm going to be fed and I'm going to leave just satisfied.
Okay, give me half a second. Let me put a little bit more of that. That's fine. And spread the cheese, spread the love all over, okay? So that everything gets nice and covered. It's easy peasy.
There we go.
And I made one up front, and it's still beautiful and warm from the oven, not hot enough to burn me. And if you give me a little plate,
I can.
I'm going to cut you a little corner. Thank you. Give me a knife, please, Jamie.
I do not have a knife.
That's all right, sweetheart. I'll just do it like this. I'm a very... Oh, just look, we know we said ooey gooey cheesy.
My mouth.
Ever so pleasy.
Is watering already.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Thank you, Jenny Morris, for always feeding us
Yeah.
and for making sure that we have new show ideas like the Half Naked Show. But if you missed out on any of those steps, here is a quick recap.
Good.
I want to hug you.
Made with love by Clover.
Made with love indeed. Now let's spread some of that love around. We would like to thank from the bottom of our hearts the dynamic duo, just awesome young guys, Young Goofy, YG, and KB, King Beast, the rapper and the dancers, the Street Kings dance crew, for joining us here in studio today. These hip-hop artists are undoubtedly at the forefront of a new wave of rappers in South Africa, proudly representing the 021, and we can't wait to see what they are going to be doing for the next couple of years. Now they're about to perform something that might get you moving just a little bit, just a little bit. It's Boss Friends. The song speaks about how their lives have changed through music and how they are now living the boss life.
Yeah. Let's go. Huh? Hey. Whoa. I got a couple friends who are bosses. I know a couple homies taking losses. All these homies wanna compete, but they don't know what it is to compete with a color like me. I got haters on my hotline. Want to hold me, this is our time. All I wanna do is get rich and get get some money, and just stack up my bricks. Boy, I'm a boss, I got boss friends. Stick it to the club, make the jaw go. Girl, can you do the margarina? Jigga my jigga, I want some more Sabatina. KB be the rapper, but you know that. Please don't bite my balls like a Kit Kat, cause you know I wanna be the best. I'm a beast, Brock Lesnar. Bring it back, let it clap, let it jump. Gucci gang, little bump. Chase heel dag weg, soos mentor. Jay play on a lucky dice venter. I got a couple friends who are bosses. I know a couple homies taking losses. All these homies wanna compete, but they don't know what it is to compete with a color like me. I got hitters on my hotline. Watch a homie, this is our time. All I wanna do is get rich and get some money, and just stack on my bricks. Me and my team, we up next. So what? Ooh, what do you mean? We are the best. So stop with your hating, stop with your faking, homie. Stop with your stupid ways, acting like you amazing, homie. You're not even close to us yet, no. We are running, you are walking on your tippy toes, boy. Go check your flows, boy, or keep the camera and watch me strike a pose, boy. Watch me and all of the bosses just come through nasty, blasting from a cannon like a madman, looking so amazing, watch your handstands. Yo, hopping on me, giving me a lap dance. I got a couple friends who are bosses. I
I know couple homies taking losses. All these homies wanna compete, but they don't know what it is to compete with a guy like me. I got hitters on my hotline. Watch a homie, this is our time. All I wanna do is get rich and get a honey, get some money and just stack on my bricks. I got couple friends who are bosses. I know couple homies taking losses. All these homies wanna compete, but they don't know what it is to compete with a guy like me. I got hitters on my hotline. Watch out, homie, this is our time. All I wanna do is get rich and get a honey, get some money and just stack on my bricks. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go,
Yes! Beautiful gentlemen. Give a shout out to the Street Kings as well. Oh, and they're here to perform just for you. Stick around, we've got one more performance coming your way. What a way to kickstart your day. Hopefully that got you moving this morning. Stick around, plenty more coming your way. And of course the culinary hotline, bling! Also headed your way.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back at your Feel Good Breakfast Show. You're still locked in. We are live, and we are chatting to the man himself, JP Sebastian in the building.
That's like 2 people in my life who've ever done that for me.
Yes, I made the list.
2 people in South Africa at home, just alone on their couches. I'll get him one day. JP, in which building?
Listen, bro, listen, man. I'm so excited for this. We are talking about some epic movies here, if I'm not mistaken, man. Is this really happening?
What do you mean, if you're not mistaken?
If this is really happening?
Space Jam was one of the most insane concepts of my childhood. I cannot believe the audacity of taking one of the world's greatest athletes.
Agreed,
yes. That's no argument. Michael Jordan, putting that dude in front of a green screen, and then some mad person goes, okay, now pretend there's a bunny you can't see. A dude who's a terrible actor. Space Jam was...
But somehow it worked, man. JP, somehow it got all kids, adults even, to get into basketball. If you didn't support like Chicago Bulls back then, you suddenly just was like all about what's happening with the Bulls, Larry Bird, the rest of the lads, man. But what's happening here? Is Michael Jordan back?
No. He wanted to pass on the torch. So LeBron James.
Wow.
LeBron James.
That's huge, man. That's literally like passing the baton of a king over to another potential king.
To act in the cartoon movie. I'm so pleased about anything Space Jam related. Good grief. Who cares about how story happens? As you can see, LeBron James gets sucked into some sort of parallel universe where Don Cheadle is a gigantic floating godlike algorithmic head.
Oh, wow.
Who challenges him to a game of basketball to return his kidnapped son. As these things go, as NBA players have to put up with.
Very plausible storyline. Very plausible.
No.
Just like the last one.
Seriously, I don't know if like there's a hostage situation at Warner Brothers. Like, how is anyone coming up with stuff this ridiculous? And I don't care. Like, Space Jam is corny, and that's part of the charm. And actually, that's like, okay, no, I don't approve of that. By the way, I don't. Green screen, real human being all the way. If the movie is just that for a smidgen, that's fine.
So is it a mixture of like CGI, real life, and cartoon all blended into one?
We'll find out, but I'm sure that, yes, of course, corny jokes as Looney Tunes go. He tells him, shoot the ball, naturally. So that's also good to see. Return to like the traditional stupid physics of Looney Tunes. But nah, this ain't for me, man. I don't care about this stuff. This is like branding. Warner Brothers is doing this in so many movies, and I think it's because they're trying to promote like their streaming services. Why is there like King Kong in there, or why is there like the Flintstones? Why Scooby-Doo? I don't care about that.
I think it's because they can. They literally can throw from their universe anyone. When it comes to like Bugs Bunny and the Tasmanian Devil, all the way to Godzilla.
Maybe I'm too much of a prude, but that's gross, man. You're just like putting marketing in something that should be lovable. All that is just free advertising for, hey, check out our streaming service if you like this. But who cares? I'm getting way too into like the politics.
I think the catchline for this is who cares, literally. And I agree with you because it's Space Jam. I mean, like, it's a classic. You have to watch it. How can you not? It's like the stuff of what kids and what our youth and
this weirdly is not the Space Jam segment, though. So we like Space Jam. We'll have our own show for this one day, but we have to talk about other movies.
Yeah. So what's up is even better. We've got Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad. I'm assuming is it a prequel or is it a sequel?
Who knows at this point? Honestly, like, remember there was a weird time when we were like, why is there a Spider-Man every 2 seasons of the year?
Yeah.
And we thought that was creepy. And now like movies have just gone. We just had Zack Snyder's Suicide Squad, Justice League.
4.5 hours. Absolutely.
It seems like if you have all the money in the world, you get so many free passes to fail upwards again and again. Failing, though, I wouldn't say that this one looks like it's a failure. James Gunn is the director. He's the dude who previously did Guardians 1 and Guardians 2.
Oh, wow.
Guardians of the Galaxy. And what I immediately like about this trailer is that John Cena, is a good start. Sylvester
Who's John Cena in this?
He plays, I think, a guy named Peacemaker. And so he's a bad guy who loves spreading freedom and peace and, you know...
Typical John Cena.
Well, typical, I suppose, American Golden Boy. But he does it in obviously the most brutal way possible. Sylvester Stallone plays a gigantic shark.
Is Sylvester Stallone in this?
He's a shark.
And I'm seeing Idris Elba as well.
Yeah, plays a guy named Bloodsport. You've got a polka dot dude who's... Shame, no one knows that guy. What's his name? Darn it, I even forgot his name, but he's a really good actor, the one you're looking at right there.
Polka dot man.
Yeah. Anyway, like all of that aside, immediately what I like about this is that, and James Gunn is obviously good at this if you consider Guardians of the Galaxy, is there's none of these sort of heroic proclamations. Not like the movie's not built to be quotable. They actually look human, and they actually look like disturbed people, but not in like a cheesy kind of way. So it could end up being lots of fun. Great poster. More of this, please, Hollywood. What they do is they design a great concept poster, and then they go, no, we need Raoul's Gefriet gigantic on the poster, and throw away all the artfulness that someone worked their butt off to make.
I like this. It's got like a Red Dead Redemption kind of a Wild West look mixed with something
good
just
pop art.
Cool. Yeah,
okay,
man.
Next one.
Last but not least, what do you got for us?
The Wrath of Man.
The Wrath of Man.
I've got such a soft spot for Jason Statham. This dude is tons of fun, man, and because he doesn't take himself seriously, like.
But is it much to expect from Jason Statham when it comes to cool, badass, like kicking action type of styles? Is it much of the same?
Yeah. What do you expect? You didn't expect him to be like, I don't know, reciting Einstein's theory of relativity, did you, while he was smashing someone in the face?
I'd like to see
so
that,
you summed it, yeah, I'd like to see that while he's smashing someone in the face. So you summed it up perfectly enough. It's just Jason Statham kicking butt. That's all you need to know.
But he's doing it with Guy Ritchie. And I mean, Guy Ritchie doesn't play.
Snatch,
so, I mean, that definitely
Lock, Stock, and Two
gives
Smoking
me
Barrels.
every reason to actually get involved in this one.
So these are all pretty soon in South Africa. Can't remember the dates, but JP's running over his time. So tell you what, go watch this for yourself. Wrath of Man and trailers, lots of fun.
Well, JP Sebastian gives us a little bit, I'll say a half tick. He never does a full tick in the box, but definitely a half tick, and that means it's definitely going to be something to watch. So stick around for some more of this. JP, it's an absolute pleasure always catching up with you, having you in the studio. You're a rock star, and you'll be bringing us more magic later on when we kick up with you. I mean, when you're coming back again? Is it
I'll be here
tomorrow,
Friday. Talk about Mortal Kombat.
Kicking off the weekend.
Mortal Kombat this week.
Yes.
Okay.
Right, well, JP will be back with that, but you guys stick around, some more magic.
Bye.
Thank you so much for that, JP
Love it.
Sebastian. I know he's going to give this next one a full take because earlier on we caught up with the radiant Dineo Langa about her role of Mokoena Molefe in the brand new S3 telenovela, The Estate. Oh, it is drama. It is full
It's
of
drama,
everything.
drama all over the place. And I got to catch up with one of the actors there, Matli Mohapelwa, who plays the husband of Dineo Langa, who is Mokoena Molefe. He plays Ntate Molefe. His character is Lesiba Molefe. Check this out. It gives you the 411. You're with your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, here on SABC3 for your dose of Feel Good this morning. Thanks for joining us. The next actor we're going to be speaking to, you've seen him on Generations, you have seen him on Soul City, you've seen him on Intersections, and each time he's brought so much magic. It is Matli Mohapelwa. Matli, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, so good, dude. I mean, we've taken you obviously off set now to just have this very quick chat with you. You are really one of the most respected actors in our space, and you are so comfortable really delivering any character, whether it's on a soap or film, whatever the case may be. But this is a really interesting character for you, Lesiba Molefe.
It makes me feel so special.
which you are.
Yeah.
Tell me about Lesiba.
Lesiba is he's a Mosotho man who's from Deep Kloof. He's married to Mokoena. Mokoena is played by Dineo Langa. He's a person who's, I mean, look, because of how he grew up, he's got certain insecurities that maybe show up later on in the story as we go. But him as a person, he's a very compassionate person. You know, he's very compassionate about people. He's got a passion for people. You know, he runs an NGO called Sakizwe in the informal settlement of Thembaletu within the story. Thembaletu is the neighborhood right next to Echelon, so it's opulence and poverty right next to each other.
Contrast
and the contrast, you know what I mean? Yeah, so he battles between those two worlds, and because his wife is so much part of this other world, which is Echelon, which is the opulence, and then he's got the people that he helps out in this poorer neighborhood, you know. So yeah, he's a man of the people, not above but equal.
It sounds like he sounds like a really noble man, but I'm very interested in hearing all about the chemistry that comes through between Lesiba as we see him and Mokoena, played by Dineo Langa, as you mentioned. I mean, because we know that from what I've heard, asking everybody around it, there's a bit of an interesting dynamic there.
Look, I've worked with Dineo for like a long time. I mean, our first show was like Soul City, like many years ago, maybe like 10, 11 years ago. So like I've worked with her before, so I understand, you know, we understand each other as thespians. And also she's a very generous actress, you know, so it's so easy to work with her because, you know, she's always willing to go that far and willing to give so that we, you know, because I mean, it's a give and take, you know, to be playing alongside someone. So I think our chemistry will be easy because she's also such an easygoing actress and she wants to make it work, you know.
When it comes to you, and I think the personal decision for you that you had to take of joining this brand new TV show, what was it that enticed you really, that really hooked you?
You mean besides having a job?
And I was going to say, I mean, for me, the most natural and the most obvious one would be that you needn't ask me anything more, I will do it. But for you, I mean, as an accomplished actor, those decisions aren't really just about having a job, I imagine.
For me, I think because Clive Morris Productions is a company that I've always respected in terms of working with, and I've worked with them a few times, you know, and I jumped at the opportunity when I heard that there's something like this, you know. In fact, I made the calls. I was like, I called the exec, I called Dom, I said, yo, is there something I can happen?
And they were too happy to have you. They were like,
called Lindy. No, I mean, look, I auditioned like everybody else. I called Lindy. Lindy was doing the casting at that time, and she was, you know, kept telling me about the briefs. I did a self-tape, and I got on, and I was so glad to get on and find the cast that was on the show. You know, that was so great for me to know that I can finally work with certain actors. You know, I could work with Obripo. You know, I'm working with Dom Lange, which is fantastic. And some of the younger actors too. You know, Mposi Begwe, my good friend Thabo Malema. So it was
it's so good that you guys are able to connect again in that way. What do you think is really going to draw South Africans to the estate? I mean, there's so much hype and excitement around it, but from a product and the quality of show perspective, what is it about the texture that's really going to just pop?
I think it's going to be, it's so relatable that people are going to see themselves in the different families on the show, you know. So I think for somebody who it doesn't matter what walk of life you're in, when you switch on the estate, it's like you're going to see yourself somewhere. You're going to be like, oh, I know that person, or that's me, you know. And also, I mean, just the quality of production, I think it's going to look really good. I mean, the how it's shot cinematically, and you know, the writing also is pretty dope. I think when we look at the world that we're living in today, it's really a reflection of it, you know. So
sounds fantastic.
I think it's going to be great, and also obviously the cast.
The cast is just the magic of it all, honestly.
You know?
Well, thank you so much for chatting to us this morning. I know you've got scenes and scenes and scenes to do. We're in fact standing right outside of his house, Lesiba Molefe's house, which I mean, I've really been in awe this entire time, just walking around, getting to experience this and really having it come to life. It's the estate. Thank you, Michael.
Yes, sir.
All the best.
Thank you, brother.
Uncle
How do you like it?
You got the 411.
How do you like it?
That is what we signed up for. Thank you so much for going into depth in all of that.
But that's the thing, is that the actors have all gone so deep with it. They've given all of their souls and their being into this. And hopefully when you watch it at 7 p.m. here on S3, you get to open up to that world and you get to take it all in and you enjoy it.
Trust us, you do not want to miss any of the drama and intrigue taking place in this brand new telenovela, The Estate. Catch it weekdays at 7 p.m. and open up with S3.
That's it.
To those that know me, know that family is everything to me. My father said a man's land is his kingdom.
You are not going to buy our souls with your jobs and your money. But if it wasn't for my taxi money, you wouldn't have had that estate.
Well, at least we know that our ancestors both love money. You have a good marriage. Don't mess it up, brother.
Hey, chocolate. Well, I mean, who doesn't want to live at Echelon Estate?
Introducing a new daily drama with an award-winning cast.
To the dream.
To the dream.
The Estate starts Monday, the 5th of April at 7 on 3.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Clover cheese is for those who love life, where everything falls into place and melts away our cares, adding joy and stretching our imagination. Clover, for the love of cheese.
Made with love by Clover.
Yes, for the love of cheese. Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. Now, when it comes to mouth-watering recipes, and we know how to bring those to life, the secret ingredient is always cheese. Cheese! Yes! Chef Jenny Morris has demonstrated a savory dish with the elite quality, elite taste, and elite texture. And now, Jenny Morris is about to show us that cheese doesn't just have to be savory, because you can have your cake and eat it too with this nostalgic Clover cheese bumblebee cheesy cake. You got my full attention, Jenny Morris. Wow.
I want your full attention. I want you here. Social distance. Come stand here.
What do you mean?
Come, you got to work for this,
Oh,
baby.
wow, I've got to end my keep around here, eh?
So
Wow,
we have some
okay.
butter
Okay.
and some caster sugar. What I want you to do is just cream that all well together.
Okay, do I add anything else?
No, for now. I'm
Okay,
going to
cool.
just keep
So
my beady
this.
eye on you.
So some butter and some custard sugar.
And if you need to use that to help you along, do it.
Thank you.
And then I'm going to make the sauce that goes over this cake, this little bumblebee cake. It's lovely. You know, we have salty caramel.
Yeah.
I love an apple pie with sometimes a layer of lovely clover cheddar cheese on the bottom.
But it's about taking
Delicious.
it into layers of
Exactly.
taste, right? You've got the sweet coming through,
Oh,
but you've
yes.
also got that nice little savory bite as well.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So now what we do is, this is going to go over the top of the cake, and I'm going to just make the sauce. This is an extract of yeast,
Okay.
which is delicious. So
Nice.
this is where the saltiness, where the savory comes into this. I'm going to borrow your whisk, my love.
This,
May I?
right, sure.
Is that better for you to do
This
it
is,
that way?
yeah, this is coming along really nicely for me
Okay.
here. So while you're adding that
Yes.
and I'm getting this done, what are your top tips when it comes to getting the mixture right? Because it's all about the consistency, but I
Yes.
always find that people do get it wrong at that phase.
Do you know what it is? Especially when you're working with flour, I find that people overwork it. So that's the
Okay.
gluten. Especially when you're doing a cake, you know, you want it to be nice and soft.
Yeah.
And you want a lovely crumb. I'm going to help you and give you a bit of
Nobody wants
moisture.
a droog.
No,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
absolutely. Droogkoek is niet lekker.
No.
But you could always, I suppose, just take a nice big glass of clover milk in that lovely new bottle.
Ooh, that smells so good
and
already.
helps it.
I love that.
Okay, have a look here. This is beautifully melting together.
Looks so good.
And then I'm going to do the cheese for the top. Should I help you further and give you a little bit more?
Yeah, a little bit
There's
of moisture.
one
so some
egg.
egg going
There we
in
go.
there. I'm loving this.
Are you
What I
loving
really
it?
do enjoy making, and I'll tell you this for free, Jenny Morris, is I really actually don't like being in the kitchen and cooking myself. I like
Really?
watching other people cook. So when I stand here
Oh, boy,
and a
yeah.
chef does it, that makes my life. But when it comes to cakes and
Yes.
anything sweet, any dessert, get me in the kitchen. I'm ready to get working. And I love this. Okay, what is this? Milk?
Okay,
Or what is that? Is
that's a
that
little
milk?
bit of milk. I'm just
Okay.
making it your life easy, because why should I get dirty when you can?
When I can. Sorry.
Salt,
I'll get
because-
dirty for cake any day, anytime. Listen, if you want this recipe, we've made it super, super easy for you. We've loaded all of the ingredients and all the steps involved in making this. Go on our website, www.expressoshow.com, and you'll find it there. Oh, the flour going
That's
in
the
there.
flour and the
this is when it
baking
gets
powder.
really dirty, right?
So what I want you, just go around the bowl and just turn it onto itself. Just keep turning it. Here's a little bit of milk to help you along the way.
I love that.
Yeah, don't throw the milk all in at once, because you're going to have a dirty old mess. But it doesn't matter. It does come together nicely.
Eventually.
Eventually. So eventually, Manuel, I'm going to just pop this cheese into here, because this is the topping. This is the best part.
You just added the cheese. Have you just added the cheese to make my life? Well, listen, we're calling it a bumblebee cheesecake because, yes, the cheese is in there, but it's also because of the color contrast of the yellow cheese with the dark color of the yeast extract sauce that we pour over it. That's just going to make it magic. And because we're making use of that clover cheese, which contains 100% clover milk and is made with love by expert cheesemakers, there's a lot of them. They spend so much time and they've spent so many years experiencing and experimenting with cheese making, specially crafted and matured to develop the perfect flavors and the right textures, which is what we're looking for. Textures.
We're
It's all about
looking
the
for
textures.
textures. So why are you running away?
No, because you're taking over now.
Oh, no, I'm not.
I'm having you take the
You're
lead.
neglecting your duties. Come, I'm going to feed you. Just go like this, my darling. Bring it back.
You don't get to eat
Bring
cake
it
for
back.
free around
you
this
don't
place.
get your cake and eat it if you work it. And then, whoops.
Earn your cake.
Yes, earn your cake. I could finish that off for you, but I want to give you a little taste of this. So what I've done is I've made this lovely cheesy sauce that goes... Thank goodness we put you... He can't be a half-naked chef.
No, certainly
You'd
not.
be
because
covered.
I'd be covered completely.
Yes. Give me your plate, my love.
Full. Here you go.
And so,
that looks so good. It looks so rich.
Do you know
see
what?
all of that cheese and the moistness of the cake? Oh, man.
and I'm going to just give you a little bit more of this melted cheese on
Jenny from the block.
Hi, you happy
Come
boy.
on.
Look at
You
that.
see, I can't concentrate on working while you're doing that. It's
I mean,
impossible.
just give you that
You're a
little bit
big
extra.
distraction right now. Because you know what's about to happen next, right? I want to taste this now, all
Yes.
right? Okay, cool. Let's get in there. You're going to finish off.
I'm going to finish this off.
Jenny?
You remind me of my house.
What happens at your house?
When I say, well, the parrots need the paper changing, and can you do the water? And I'll do this and you do that. And I come back and I change the paper and I change the water.
The cheese, man. It's all the cheese.
Look at that. And then
Mixed
straight.
with the sweetness.
Nice, huh? Sweet and
It's an
savory.
explosion in your mouth.
It's like having sweet and sour chicken. You know?
I love this. Well, listen, if you missed any of the steps, I've got a recap for you. Watch it. Don't you know?
Made with love by Clover.
Thank you so much to the team in the kitchen. It is just gone 8 o'clock, in fact, this morning. Let's get back into our national news. The Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, has launched a partnership with the United Nations to implement a district development model in the OR Tambo area in the Eastern Cape. The agreement involves a donation of some 75 million rand that will be used for better service delivery in rural municipalities. Dlamini-Zuma says the project entails involving the private sector in service delivery. She says women and youth will also learn skills to promote economic transformation. Then the International Monetary Fund, otherwise known as the IMF, yesterday revised its growth outlook for South Africa upwards, which is good news as the country is battling to recover from the effects of the COVID-19 lockdown with a record unemployment. It's revised its growth figures of 2.8% to 3.1% for this year. The IMF has estimated global growth to expand by 6% this year. It said that this was due to accelerated vaccinations and a flood of government spending on ways to beat COVID-19. Then staying with international news, Sudan's cabinet approved a bill yesterday abolishing a 1958 law on boycotting Israel. This 6 months after Khartoum and the Jewish state struck a deal to normalize ties. At the same time, it reiterated Sudan's firm position on the establishment of a Palestinian state within the framework of a two-state solution. Yesterday's landmark bill will be presented for final approval by Sudan's ruling Sovereign Council, made up of military and civilian figures, before it is then passed into law. Then a report commissioned by President Emmanuel Macron says France's role before and during the 1994 Rwandan genocide, which left over 800,000 people dead, was a monumental failure that the country must now acknowledge. Macron's decision to commission the report and open the archives to the public are part of the efforts to more fully confront the French role in the genocide and to improve relations with Rwanda, including making April the 7th, the day the massacre began, a day of commemoration. And now, more news of a big mama bear crossing the highway with her cubs, or at least trying to. Fresh out of their winter den, a huge mama black bear in Connecticut in the US had her paws very much full, trying to get all 4 of her cubs across a busy highway as cars piled up in both directions near the city of Winstead, some 40 kilometers northwest of the state capital, Hartford. Now, one motorist was afforded a front row seat of the amusing scene unfolding and took this video. 4 very lively cubs are a lot for a mama bear to handle. Usually there are only 2 or 3 of the types. And the adorable video depicts the difficulty she had with the 4th cub refusing to cross and attempting to climb a utility pole instead. Police were called to the scene and found many drivers waiting patiently, thankfully, for the bear to get her brood safely across to the other side. As one put it, she barely made it across. Connecticut has, in fact, a healthy and increasing bear population with the highest concentration in the northwest region of the state. Reports of bear sightings, even in the heavily populated residential areas, have been on the rise, with some 7,300 annually. Well, needless to mention, Mama Black Bear's outing with her 4 cubs rapidly went viral. Parents' job is never easy. On that positive note is where we wrap up our news headlines. Let's get into the sport. Let's start with rugby. The Springboks have officially begun their preparations for the British and Irish Lions tour taking place in July this year. The reigning Rugby World Cup champions have now started preparing with groups of players who will be attending alignment camps this month. Director of Rugby Rassie Erasmus and our Bok head coach Jacques Ninamba will meet with a number of players to present their plans for the 2021 rugby season. Overseas-based Springbok players who are playing out of the United Kingdom, France and Ireland, and there are quite a few, will also gather, and then virtual meetings will take place for those players based in Japan. Then bringing it back to South Africa for football, defending Premier Soccer League champions Mamelodi Sundowns back on form. They opened now a 6-point lead at the top of the standings. That was after seeing off Chakuma Chamazivandila 3-1 at the Peter Mokaba Stadium yesterday. So the Brazilians now sitting on 43 points on the log, while Chakuma languishing back in 15th place in a relegation playoff spot at this point. And other PSL results from yesterday, Kaizer Chiefs and Stellenbosch FC had to share the spoils, playing out to a 2-2 draw in a thrilling clash at the FNB Stadium. That means Amakosi now remain in 9th place, Steadies just behind them in 10th on the table. Then staying with the beautiful game on the biggest stage possible, Spanish giants Real Madrid were just too good on the night for Liverpool in the first leg of their UEFA Champions League quarterfinals in Spain last night. Los Blancos outclassing the Reds by 3-1. Manchester City, they also recorded a first leg win that was up against Borussia Dortmund at the Etihad Stadium. City beating the visitors 2-1. The second leg of both quarterfinal ties will take place on the 14th of this month. Then tonight, it's the turn of Porto as they take on Premier League outfit Chelsea, and then Bayern Munich, they will face Paris Saint-Germain at 9 p.m. Then finally on to Olympics news, getting closer now. Now North Korea have announced that they will not be taking part in the 2021 Tokyo Olympics, of course taking place in July and August this year. This decision was made in order to protect their athletes from the coronavirus, they've said. The announcement makes North Korea the first major country, in fact, to skip the Games because of the pandemic. The Tokyo Olympics is scheduled to take place from the 23rd of July to the 8th of August, with a very strong South African contingent headed that way. And that's a wrap of your sport for this morning. Time now to take one last look at some of your beautiful sunrise vistas and get a take on our midweek weather.
Thank you so much, G-Man, for that sports update, but also thank you to all of you, our viewers, that shared your sunrise photos with us this morning. We started off this morning with Caroline Crawford, all the way from Umkomaas, who shared this gorgeous skyline of the golden sun rising over the ocean. We also chatted with Hannes Bosman earlier this week, and he shared this stunning image of his favorite fishing spot, the Strand Reefs, with us. Jeffina Ferrez also shared this cloudy morning with the sun peeking through in the distance. And then last but definitely not least, regular contributor Ntokozo Theo Makatini shared another one of his beautiful photos with us, showing off a cloudy morning with some sun rays glowing across the sky in Johannesburg. Please do continue to share your sunrise photos with us on the Expresso Facebook page. We absolutely love seeing how you start your day. Now, of course, while we do enjoy experiencing a sunrise from your part of South Africa, we do have some international viewers tuning in on both YouTube and the Africa channel in the USA. And this morning we find out a little bit more about the capital of Illinois, Springfield. Now, Springfield has a humid continental climate and experiences hot, humid summers and some cold, rather snowy winters. Springfield is located on the farthest reaches of Tornado Alley, and as such, thunderstorms are a common occurrence throughout the spring and summer. Severe thunderstorms are also forecast for late this afternoon. Otherwise, the day will be windy and sunny in the morning, and 23 degrees Celsius will be the maximum for you today. In other weather updates, international weather updates, stormy weather and waves of up to 15 meters high off the coast of Norway in the North Sea yesterday forced crew members aboard the Dutch cargo ship Eemslift Hendrika to evacuate. Now, the Norwegian Coast Guard said the 12-member crew of the ship that was adrift was in danger of capsizing in rough seas and had to be rescued. A Coast Guard video shows rescuers airlifting the crew from the ship as it is being battered by 15 meters meter high waves. Now, some crew members were seen being airlifted from the sea, while others were rescued from the ship's deck. The Coast Guard said the 111-meter Dutch registered ship had lost the power of its main engine and was presently drifting towards land. The vessel is carrying smaller yachts, and oil spill is feared if it capsizes and sinks. Well, that is where we leave your update on the international weather news. Here is a final look at the temperatures for today. We kick it off with Polokwane one last time. Your low is 12 today, reaching a high of 25. If you do find yourself in Umbumbela, do expect a low of 17 and peaking at 27 today. Pretoria, for you, do expect some thunder showers coming through with a low of 14 and a high of 23. Johannesburg, a minimum of 12 and a maximum of 20. Mahikeng, thunder showers also coming your way today, reaching a low of 12 and a high of 22. Klerksdorp, for you, expect a minimum of 12 and a high of 23. Kimberley, 15, 27. Bloemfontein, 10, 25. And then Richards Bay, partly cloudy conditions expected, reaching a low of 19 and a high of 29. Pietermaritzburg, 15, 30. South Africa's Playground Durban, reaching a low of 21 and a high of 29. Mthatha, 13, 29. East London following shortly with a low of 17 and a high of 25. And then Craddock coming through with a minimum of 11 and a maximum of 32. So it's going to be a hot day for you today, Craddock. Gqeberha, 15, 24. George, 13, 22. No clouds coming your way, Cape Town, the mother city, with a low of 16 and a high of 23. And then Woesterd, a minimum of 13, a high of 30. Sutherland, 9, 25. And Uppington with a low of 18, peaking at 32 today. It's going to be a beautiful day in South Africa, but wherever you find yourself, happy Wednesday to all of you.
Thank you so much, JB. Now we've got our final performance of the day. You've heard them. The bars are lit. It's been absolute fire. Now, young Goofy YG and KB the rapper are taking to the floor to perform the song Rolling Through My City. And now the hip-hop artists continue to make sure the mother city remains one of the most represented provinces in the country. And the song, it refers to Cape Town and speaks about certain trademarks in the city, and also to show us that they will get the city on the map to bigger places through their music. So for their final performance of this morning, ladies and gentlemen, let's take it away, Rolling Through My City.
Let's go. Yeah. So we're live on Expresso. Hey. And we need you to get up from bed and wake up. Wake up. Let's go. Let's get it. Hey, hey, let's go. Hey, look. Rolling through my city, feeling like a bad boy, call me B Diddy. Shout out to the lanes, it's about to get litty. I put on for my city, on for my city. Look, rolling through my city, feeling like a bad boy, call me P Diddy. Shout out to the lanes, it's about to get litty. I put on for my city, on for my city. Look at the clock, look at the watch, look at the wrist, look at the car, look at the bank, I be the, I be telling you something that you will never know. You never measure up to me, even when you on tippy toes. Yes, cousin, I be full of a dozen. You go on my Mac flatty, I keep it the Mac muffin like yo, Mr. DJ. And I get that on the replay. I'm in this game like EA. Can't go lick a let's say. Yes, girl, come a bitchy nada. Do you want this meatballs or do you want the banana? Keeping it local, I be kicking it like Bafana. Rappers on my sons, say hello to your father. If you still hot, then I gotta beat ya. Put you in detention, I listen to your teacher. You wanna follow me, you wanna follow the leader. We all wanna slice out of life just like pizza. Rolling through my city, feeling like a bad boy, call me P Diddy. Shout out to the lanes, it's about to get litty. I put on for my city, on for my city. Look, rolling through my city, feeling like a bad boy, call me P Diddy. Shout out to the lanes, it's about to get litty. I put on for my city, on for my city. Look, rolling through the city, got your girl with me. Took her to the candy shop, now she call me 50. We had the bag on us, but we only spent 50. Cause we had a lot to do in only couple minutes. Look, I had to go and grind with my team, this is life. 24/7 on the road, I won't lie. Nah, like Mike, I just do what I like. Like Nike, we just doing it right, Can't forget the 3 stripes on my body, looking good like McDonald's. Yeah, you know I'm loving it. Can't forget you that your girl be loving it. I can't help it, this is who I am, yeah, it is part of me. Ay, ay. I'm just trying to blow up in the industry. Ay, ay. I just want to get what I deserve from me. Ay, ay. If you don't believe me, then step out of my scene. I'm with my team and we living our dream. Look, rolling through the city, feeling like a bad boy, call me P Diddy. Shout out to the lanes, it's about to get litty. I put on for my city, on for my city. Look, Rolling through the city, feeling like a bad boy, call me P. Diddy. Shout out to the lanes, it's about to get litty. I put on for my city, on for my city. Let's go. Rolling through my city, feeling like a bad boy, call me P. Diddy. Shout out to the lanes, it's about to get litty. I put on for my city, on for my city. Look, rolling through my city, feeling like a bad boy, call me P. Diddy. Shout out to the lanes, it's about to get litty. I put on for my city, on for my city. Look, shout out Cape Town, thank you for waking up. Thank you for watching us.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. We bring it to you live.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, 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 hey.
Yes, sir. Shout out Street Kings for joining us, man. Let's go.
Yes,
Come on.
yes. I cannot say anything more than thank you, gentlemen. Young Goofy, YG, you guys have been absolutely incredible. KB the rapper, it's been an absolute pleasure. And these dancers, gentlemen, take a bow. I'm loving that setup. How long were you chilling in that bed for? I don't know, but you guys are absolute fire. Mzansi, you heard it here first, of course. I think Cape Town is definitely on the map right now from these gentlemen right here. And I cannot wait to see what magic they come through later on in this year. Boys, take a bow, please, man. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, Young Goofy, YG the rapper, and of course KB the rapper as well. Thank you very, very much. Yes, magic was promised and we delivered.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You are beautiful. Yes, and it's because you're
Thank
watching
you, man. Thank
Expresso
you.
here on S3. We're opening up to parenting and weaning and all of those things that come with it. Now, a baby is a little bit of heaven sent down to earth. That's what they say, right?
Yes,
Parents will tell you this for free. And when it comes to weaning, it's all about gradual transition through texture. A recent study actually found that the earlier certain foods were introduced in an infant's diet from 6 months onwards, the better that the baby will accept it, both in infancy as well as at a later age in childhood, which goes to show just how important it is. It's very, very important. Now we have our mummy and daddy presenters on the couch, Jamie Lee and Graham, discussing their weaning experiences with their little ones, because you guys have actually had the experience.
Well, I'm in it right now.
You
I'm
are
in the midst.
in it now, yes.
No,
for the
1-year-old
second
is
time.
like the middle of wean.
And this is the second time that you're going through that. Jamie Lee, for you, your experience with Luca, that weaning process, how did you find it?
I think back now, you going through it, trial and error. error, my friend, because a lot of times when you go through this thing, you think that it's one size fits all, and it really isn't. It's all about trial and error. And so I remember 6 months was the age that we started weaning him, and it was so overwhelming for me. Obviously, it was the first time being a parent.
Yes.
But what I loved is that when we did introduce it to him, it was so exciting. You got to see his face and just see his reaction with regards to introducing solids to him.
Yeah.
But for me, the Purity jars really was something that we introduced when he was 6 months, because it had the recommended age on the jar. So I knew I was doing something right. And up until today, the banana and apple flavor is still his favorite.
Oh,
and
I love the apple flavor.
Because the parents actually find themselves dipping in there
one for
as
you,
well,
one for me.
right?
Very much so.
And Graham, I mean, textures are obviously what it's all about. It's about getting them introduced to these new textures that they don't know anything about. What's your experience been like?
You know, it's kind of twofold, because I did the same thing. You want to start introducing them to as many different nutrients as possible, so that, you know, in terms of like allergies and things like that, the earlier you can introduce them to a broader spectrum. All of the experts on our show have taught us that.
Yeah.
So, and that's great. Before they're chewing and they're kind of taking on the physical battle of the food, the Purity jars were a godsend, because you know you're getting all the right kind of nutrients, preservative-free. You know, and the fact that Kath McGaw has been working with their team for the last 4 years, making sure that you're getting the very best, that was a massive endorsement for me. But now, George has entered that phase where most of the food goes in the hair, on the face, so like I'll give her something to get the textures of, to feel, to get the mouth feel. She's learning, and she can chew and she can do these things, but often not a huge amount of the nutrients is going in the mouth.
Into her mouth,
And just to freak me out, she'll like take it and put it in her ear.
Or yours, I'm sure sometimes.
Yeah, or mine. Which means what I love about, so we do a lot of supplementing with the Purity jars, and she's got an interesting flavor profile as well. You start to discover how your children, like their tastes differ to different things. And it's I love the purity of the purity is a big selling point for me, but it's got a nice range, so you can give them diversities.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is for both of you guys. You're busy. You guys wake up super early to be here, and then you've still got so much to do throughout the day. How do you make sure that, you know, even on the go, which you guys are constantly on, that you both have your little ones, you know, getting the right type of thing,
my friend.
that they get the right meals and snacks and all of those things? How do you make sure?
So let me tell you, when I started weaning, I was actually doing presenter search on 3.
Oh,
so imagine going back and forth, trying to learn lines, get everything. It was a bit of a balance. So for me, now knowing the Purity jars has all the ingredients, again, with Kath McGaw endorsing all of that, and knowing that it's on the go, it's convenient, gives me more time to bond with little Luca. And that was what I needed. It was something that was healthy, it was nutritious, but also still gave me comfort knowing that it was getting what he needed.
Well, you don't have to heat them, first of all. Like, so the squish packs, I mean, the jars are cool. We'll keep them with us or whatever. And if it's she's in a pram, little gap filler, it's great. But the squish is ideal, and it's a broad range as well, savoury and sweet, and it's not too much, so it's not going to replace a meal. But on the go, ideal.
It's good for that. What are some of your do's and don'ts, G-Man, when it comes to weaning?
It's more with you than your child, to be quite honest. Become less precious, over the fact they will get dirty, and that's part of the process.
It's going to happen.
It's a massive
Don't be
thing.
upset.
So, and my dogs love it. My dogs absolutely adore the fact that that Georgia is. They just hang around, like around the high chair. Look at those gorgeous little things, man. And it's very sweet, and I use it now with Jax, with his eating. I'm constantly modelling his behaviour, and he takes pride out of that and showing his little sister how to eat something, or that he's a good eater, that he's doing his thing. He takes it seriously, which is a beautiful thing. But you've just got to keep trying. What you said, trial and error is a big part of it. Diversity. Try as many things. You'll see, like Georgia, for instance, loves lemon, and she doesn't even like. Which is the most amazing thing. So like you'll find things that they love, and trust me, as they move into the toddler phase where they become a lot more selective, you want to have as many tools in your arsenal as you possibly can. So try them on as many different foods as you can.
Process, it's a total process.
Fun,
but you guys are having lots of fun with it. You're enjoying the food as well. Are you going to be weaning anytime again soon? Oh well, you know what? We just heard. No, not yet, but when it does happen, I will play back this chat, okay? Thanks for that. We just heard the great advice from our presenters, Graham and Jamie Lee. If you want expert advice, then listen up. Purity, they've teamed up with Old Mutual, which is a great partnership. They're giving 2 lucky viewers the chance to each win 5 tickets to attend the Parenting in the 21st Century with COVID virtual event on Thursday, the 29th of April. Really, it's with world-renowned experts and guest speakers who are really going to be sharing all of that information. What you need to do is reply to the competition post on the Expresso Facebook or Twitter page and share your top tip for parenting in the 21st century using that hashtag OpenExo. The competition closes at midday on Friday, the 9th of April, and those T's and C's do apply. You can find them on expressoshow.com.
So you really don't want to start it now because we can give you some more tips.
It's a lot of fun. Why don't you start by just being a babysitter? Why don't you come and see if you can handle a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old, hey?
Together at the same time.
Together at the same
At the same time. Or you can take Luca.
Oh, no.
You can take Luca. He's 2 years old, only one at a time.
Okay, one at a time. I could try that.
It's a deal.
Tabzi, don't listen to them. I think you can go straight into having a kid. You've got this. You've got the makings of a brilliant father, and I think Mzansi would love to see you as our old, not Uncle Tabzi, Papa Tabzi in the building. Now, I think that would be something that would definitely make Tabzi's house a home. By chatting to you, Mzansi, to find out what definitely makes your house a home, and we're finding out on our social media channels this morning. And first up, we've got Darusha Narasi. She says, family time, I guess, but for me, it's when I'm in the kitchen doing what I love, and it's food that generally brings people together. I think you're ticking 2 of the most essential boxes here today. It's definitely family, it's definitely food, and we've got so much of that on the show, and of course, out at home with you, Mzansi. Now, Belinda Francis says, what makes my house a home is the love that filters in each of us when we embrace each other in sad times and good times. I love that. Now, but the heart of our home, the kitchen, once the aromas filter through our home, it brings us together with laughter, smiles, and long conversations. I absolutely love what you're saying there, Belinda. And then lastly, we've got Heather Yasmin Grant. The happiness, sadness, and the love, joy, peace, and laughter makes my home a special place to enjoy and live in. And not forgetting good food too. Home is where the heart is. I definitely couldn't disagree with you. Now, of course, when we were speaking about filling the bellies, that was one thing that definitely made your house feel like a home. And we've got just the thing coming straight after this. It's that culinary hotline bling. Ching, ching, ching.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you gorgeous people. Back to another installment of the Culinary Hotline Bling. Ting, ting, ting! Oh yes, we're joined by one of our favorite chefs in the house, Chef Clem. And if you need help getting out of those sticky kitchen situations, it's simple. Give us a call, 021 110 552. Now, every single time we have this Culinary Hotline Bling, and since we started introducing viewers into the mix, we have enjoyed welcoming our viewers in studio, especially for the Culinary Hotline. We have Vernon joining us this morning, who is going to be really taking us on a culinary journey of note when it comes to curry. Ladies and gents, please give a warm Expresso welcome to Vernon! Vernon, there isn't a welcome to Expresso, especially in the kitchen, without us knighting you with this, the Expresso. You want to play the Chariot of Fire in the mix there. And now...
We've got to work on some background music for this. Maybe next week we'll have it because it's too early, too early in the morning. Vernon, you amazing in the apron.
Thanks.
Welcome. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. It's going to be lots of fun. Vernon, where are you from?
Grassy Park. I'm Grassy Park.
Ah, from Grassy Park, not too far from here. So, Vernon, you love spending time in the kitchen. You and I were having a chat at the start of this morning, and you were telling me two things that you love, the arts and the kitchen and making food.
Sure. Yeah, I'm an avid cook. Yeah. And, you know, I tell myself if I could be in the kitchen all day, I'd sleep there. You know,
are you serious?
Yes, I love cooking.
And that's not even a challenge, it's an offer. You are saying to us that you will spend all your time and all your hours in the kitchen. I love that.
Yeah, it's an enjoyment, you know, because it's a passion, you know. It's a love for cooking.
Well, it's a shared passion between you and Chef Clem, so I know that there's certainly going to be lots of magic going on here. Have you guys had the chance to bond about curry and all of that?
How do you know this?
Because I can see the ingredients.
Wow, it's a
I know these things.
Nice. But you had a question for us.
Yeah, I had the question on my mind quite long because I've been struggling with this for some time. Of macaroni. So what is the right proportion?
I'm glad you asked this question because it's quite it's a difficult one. People are intimidated by white sauce because they're scared it's going to get lumpy. They're scared it's not going to be seasoned enough. They're scared it's going to be too thick or too thin. Then what do you do with it? So it's very simple. What I do is for 500 grams of pasta, which is a standard packet of pasta, which feeds a family of 4, 6 maybe, depends.
Basically what I use.
Depends on portions.
Depends on the portions, depends on the family. Because I mean, the 500 gram pasta in my house will not, it's gone. So, super simple. What I always do, I start off with equal to volume, 3 tablespoons of flour, 3 tablespoons of butter. Okay? And what you do is, it doesn't have to be butter, it can be canola oil, olive oil, but butter is just what everybody has and they regularly use that for this recipe. So all you're gonna do, melt your butter first, add your flour, and then you're going to toast your flour, which is quite weird. People are like, wait, what am I doing? What they do is they mix it, and start pouring in the milk. What you do is you're going to toast your flour in the butter. You're going to start smelling it something nice and nutty. Start adding your milk, okay? And you add it in stages, and you mix. Here's the thing. When your sauce ends up being too thick or too thin, people start already adding more milk or more flour. You have to bring that mixture up to a simmer to actually see what the texture is really like. Then you add more milk. And remember, as it cools down, it's always going to set up. So I always make mine a little thinner than what it needs to be. And then you got your white sauce. For your mushroom sauces, for your lasagnas, for your whatever you need a white sauce for, macaroni and cheese, like I said, that's the white sauce you need to make.
Is that the mistake you've been making, Vernon, of adding the milk quickly?
I see that because the highest temperature is 5 on my oven. And then I go down to 4, but I don't simmer it. I don't go down to 1.
You got to simmer?
Keep and that's how I suppose it does go wrong. Well, that has certainly answered that question. I think it's helped me as well because...
I've got a better cheat.
What is a better cheat?
And I've gone down this route before in emergency cases. You go down to your nearest Woolies and you buy the bechamel.
Because it's already done
and it's already done.
It's done for you.
And it lives in your cupboard. When you need it, pop in the pot, heat it up or microwave, and you're done. You're done.
I love that. So what are we doing and making there?
Okay, so we had another question about making acha.
Who asked that? It wasn't me, but I would love to know how to make
So here's the thing, right? I love acha. And the thing about, especially if you're in Cape Town, maybe even Joburg, if you got to find those green mangoes.
Yes.
You need to, you can get a tender faster than you can find a supply of green mangoes. And it's true. You need to know someone who knows that auntie that has a mango tree. And then once you do, some olive oil came in there. So what happens is once you get your green mangoes, it's important that you have to dry your mangoes out. And then you have to season it, salt it, and you put it away for a very long time.
What do you season it with?
You get, we spoke about this. You get a meaty seasoning, but you also get a spice mix that's specific for the curing process and the seasoning process of your mangoes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's fun. You go out there, meet the spice suppliers, meet the people that are doing these things. So what you're going to do then is you're going to find the green mangoes, but I said that's tricky. So I've got a nice little date acha recipe, which is nice because it goes well with good with cheese. A cheese platter, it goes well on a burger, it goes well. Even if you're making a steak, the service on the side, it's quite a sweet condiment. It's not really like serving something sweet without curries. And this is the one that you're gonna make.
Love
you ready for it?
Work. I'd love to see that come to life. And listen, we want you to cook along with us. Go on our website, expressoshow.com. on the website, we've got all the ingredients you're going to need to create all of this magic. So go and check it out.
Okay, so onions going to start browning. You want to go nice and low and slow on the onions.
Okay.
Because you want to caramelize the onions and bring out the flavor in them and the sweetness. Onions, have you ever bitten into raw onion? You get that pungent onion flavor.
Unpleasant thing.
Yeah, but you also get slight bitterness. It just overpowers your mouth.
Yes.
So you want to slowly cook that until it starts to caramelize. And the trick is to add a bit of salt to it.
Okay.
The salt draws out the moisture of the onions. And you'll see, as the more you cook it, you can even start smelling it become sweeter. Are you with me, Tabiso?
I am with you, very much with you. I'm paying attention step by
So
step.
what I love about this one is just like normal acha, it can stay in the jar and it can live in your fridge
For how long? For like a long time, right?
Like you can give it to Tabiso Junior. It's gonna last that long, okay? It's gonna last that long.
Do you like acha, Vernon?
Yes, oh yes.
Yes, you're my guy.
Okay, chilies go in, and here's the thing. I said it before, in 2021,
yeah,
we're not giving quantities for how much chocolate to use.
Okay.
You do that for how many you like. Okay. We're not giving quantities for garlic, we're not giving quantities for chili. You do that by feel, okay?
But, yeah, it's about like feeling it.
It's about
going with
feeling
the flow.
it.
Your spirit must speak to the pot. Going all of that into the pot,
Dates go in.
mixing. Dates go in.
Garlic, ginger.
goes in. Ginger goes in. You got some spices?
Garam masala, and you can also add a little bit of extra coriander to it to give it that extra flavor.
Right.
That's going in. Bring everything, you literally just have to add everything to the pot, a little bit of water.
Yeah.
It comes out like that. You can make it thinner or thicker, depends how you like it. Sure. Put it in a jar. I'm telling you this, I did not know, with a toasted cheese sandwich on there.
It smells so good.
It's
But
so
listen,
good.
we love to do this. It's the culinary hotline bling here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. We've got Vernon from Grassy Park here in Cape Town joining us this morning, who really is about to express his passion and see it all come to life here in the kitchen. Connect with us on our Facebook page. Use that hashtag Expresso Show with any questions that you have for Chef Clem. We'll see you after this.
Oral Medic alleviates mouth ulcer pain in seconds.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back as we enter into the last stanza of the show. Thank you so much for keeping it locked. Let's take us back inside the home. The home is our sanctuary, the place we retreat with our families or maybe alone after a long day's work. And when it comes to your space, whether it's your personal space or maybe your home office, as many of us have had to embrace over this time, nothing beats a well-made, soft and comfortable couch or a chair with fabulous curtains completing the look.
Absolutely. Now, Home Fabrics provides top quality furniture fabrics that fit in with modern trends to help create homes that we love to live in. And here to chat through the latest fabric trends is Home Fabrics Managing Director Mark Shotland. So good to have you with us. The last time we connected.
Yeah. A little bit of social distancing, but it's so great to be back on set with you guys. It's really cool to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. And a good time for you, I'd imagine, moving into a new season where people start. We need more comfort.
Yeah,
we need comfort food, and we need comfort in our space. And of course, our living space has taken on a whole new meaning over the last year. We spoke about that the last time we connected with you, and I think now that we've come to terms with the fact that, yes, we are going to be working from home now, we're going to be spending more time, but we also still need to live at home and feel comfortable at home. Winter is here. What are the trends that have got you most excited?
Well, we're super excited about, well, we're not super excited about that everybody's working from home, but it is what it is, and we all, a lot of us are working from home and living at home, and our couches are now our office chair, our sofa, our little beds to nap on. So what's really exciting is we've launched a couple of amazing collections this season, and one of them that I'm really excited about is a new Designers Guild collection, which has these beautiful lamb-like whorls. I want to say lamb-like whorls. You guys can just flick through that. It's all beautiful, furry, soft on the handle. It's really cool, masculine, feminine. There are some beautiful soft color palettes, from soft pinks and blues to obviously your more neutrals, which are really popular. And it's a great way to just be a little bit more cozier this season. I mean, in Cape Town, it's a little bit crisp in the morning and the evenings. And you can even, if you don't want to upholster a whole sofa in a fur or an occasional chair in a fur, you can always just back this in a gorgeous velvet, and you've got an amazing throw.
Sorry, just to interject there, because this can elevate even something that's got clean, simple lines. When you add a different texture, you add a fur to a couch, suddenly it's a whole different
100%. And it's actually like something that's kind of usable. You can pass it around. It's a bit of a talking point. A lot of us have neutrals in our homes and plain fabrics. Not everybody likes lots of patterns. So this is just a really cool way of adding texture, and it's hugely on trend. I mean, you've got these beautiful lamb-inspired whorls, which are really beautiful, and we're super excited about that Designers Guild collection.
And again, I want to say, you said it's soft as velvet, because that is the lush trend that is trending for 2021, right?
100%. Velvet is something that kind of never goes out of fashion. It's either a plain velvet. We've got these beautiful, this is a really nice big piece of this amazing quilted velvet from Fiberguard, which is, we spoke about last time, our stain-free technology. This comes in 24 different designs. It's perfect for upholstery, literally spot clean it. So not only can you spot clean a linen, a polyester, but now you can even clean a velvet. So if your children drop tomato sauce on this amazing quilted...
No, they will.
They're going to.
Yeah, of course, I had to buy a steamer when I got my...
Okay, well, you just need Fiberguard at home.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's 100% stain-free technology, beautiful quilted. We've got it in 24 different designs and colours.
And it's quite a chic finish.
And it's quite a chic finish. You can have a look at that. Now, don't ask to have a dress made in this, but this is double... well, not you, Graham, but this is a beautiful...
What do you mean, man? You don't know. You don't know.
This is a beautiful pleated double width velvet. So it's really just showing that velvets aren't always necessarily just plain solid kind of upholstery, but they're now coming in double width velvets, and also beautiful different designs. And these are all available through Home Fabrics and the different brands that we represent, like Expresso and Designers Guild.
And that's statement.
Yeah, that's statement. And again, just plush and beautiful. You guys can feel
the patterns as well.
Yes,
very luxurious.
And also an injection of colour here. So I'm talking about turmeric, cinnamon, and olive.
Yes.
I can smell them coming from the kitchen
smell
right
those
now.
those beautiful spices.
I didn't envision them, but I suppose it makes sense going into a winter season that the same kind of very evocative flavours would turn into colours. So talk me through the colour palette.
Well, this is just a piece that I've got from Designers Guild, which is a brand that we distribute. And I think people, as we discussed last time on the show, people are cocooning. People are wanting something a little bit more warm. Cocooning because of COVID. People are spending a lot more time at home. Some people don't want these bright, sharp colours, and colours like turmeric, cinnamon, sage, greens, and I think this piece of fabric really gives a perfect example of the trends that we are working with right now. My request is people need to use these beautiful colours on their sofas as curtaining. Be a little bit bolder in your homes. Don't just do a beige sofa or a grey sofa. It's just a sofa.
Yeah, man.
Live on it. It's Fiberguard. You can spot clean it after a couple of years. Just recover it. You know, our homes are like fashion, like our clothes, and you need to change them up.
But that being said, Fiberguard actually is a game changer then, because I think that's why people, you have an accent piece and then no one's allowed to sit on it, no one's allowed to use it, and it sits in the corner of the observatory. Then,
correct.
But this means you can actually use these pieces.
Everyone can now have a white sofa in their home, whether you're young, old, children, animal lover, and all our Fiberguard is Okotex Standard 100, which really gives our customers confidence that there are no harmful substances used in any of our fabrics. It's Okotex Standard compliant, and that's really becoming important now because people are a little bit more aware of what we bring into our homes, and we reassure our customers that all our products from Fiberguard are Okotex Standard 100. So no harmful substances used, 100% eco-friendly.
Well, I mean, my child will lick the couch.
There'll be a good Fiberguard ad.
Every time I speak to you, it's always so good to be able to connect with you, but also knowing that we're going to elevate our homes and make it look lush, fabulous, and we're still going to be on trend with you and Home Fabrics.
And you don't always have to break the bank. You know, there are different ways and cool ways of doing it.
Yeah, no, thank thank you so much. Inspiring stuff here. I think people are looking at their home in a different way, and hopefully this has inspired them. The clothes maketh the man.
Yes.
The fabric maketh the home, undoubtedly, man or woman. So, man or woman. And of course, you can delve a little deeper into this, go down the rabbit hole, because there are so many things to explore. You can find all the information on some fabric trends and this kind of inspiration. Home Fabrics website is homefabrics.co.za, or you can find them on the social media handle at Home Fabrics SA on Facebook and Instagram. I really do suggest do it right now.
Such valuable info now coming from stubborn stains to home hygiene and so much more. Online cleaning hub Cleanipedia.com is full of easy expert cleaning tips for a happier home. Now, someone who knows this all too well is self-confessed clean freak Becky Catamol, who welcomed us into her home to share some of her top cleaning and organizing tips for spaces that can become stressful. Let's check it out.
So I'm Becky from The Hook Home. I'm a little bit of a clean freak. I believe that having a clean home makes for a happier home. I love for everything to have its own space in my home and to have my house clean and shiny as much as possible. During lockdown last year, obviously, I had to clean my own house, so this is where it all stems from. Obviously, during the time when there was so little control in the world, having my home clean really gave me something to do and also made me feel calmer. So I started my Instagram page and people seem to be loving it. It's grown quite well for the first year, and yeah, it's taken me by surprise as to how much people love to see tips and tricks, especially that are based on South African products and South African cleaning methods. I love Cleanipedia because they have great tips. They're very handy, very easy. They showcase obviously South African cleaning products, but also I love the fact that some of their tips use vinegar and bicarb and things that we all find in our kitchen cupboards at home. They also have amazing articles which can literally tell you how to clean any item in your house, be it from organising your office desk to cleaning your oven or organising your grocery cupboard, cleaning cupboard, anything that you need they can help you with. Now I'm going to show you some of my personal tips and tricks. When it comes to my work from home space, I like to try and keep my space organised, clear and calm. This makes me feel more productive. This is a pen pot which was made by my children, which is also just a great way so I always know where my items are. Tip I learned from Cleanipedia is if you make sure your sponge is wet and doesn't contain metal, pop it in your microwave for 2 minutes and it kills all the germs and bacteria. Cleaning your bathroom can be really intimidating, from cleaning your grout to cleaning your tiles, and then what I do is a daily wipe down. So I use these wipes to do my daily clean. They are great for a quick, easy, effective clean. So by the end of the week, it's much easier when I go to do my deep cleaning because everything's kind of been wiped down throughout the week. When it comes to the big weekly clean, I like to bring my box upstairs. I've got the bathroom cleaner, which is great for your sinks, your bath, and then also for my tiles. Obviously, window and glass cleaner, which is great for your shower screens. Finally, I use the Domestos down the toilet as it also kills all the germs. So having a cleaning routine for me is so important. I tend to split my tasks into monthly, weekly and daily tasks, and there's nothing more accomplished than taking everything off on your list. Having small children means that it's chaos. So what I find is having something like this, which is great for organisation. I keep things in kind of categories through baskets for Lego and larger items, which tend to end up all over the floor. And it also helps to keep it clean. I just take everything off one shelf at a time and give it a good dust down. By the way, Cleanipedia has a great article on how to keep your children's toys clean, from soft toys to plastics and all small bits in between. The cleaning routine for me means that I know that everything is done, which means that if we're having friends around or if we're going away, I know that my house is in order, which just means that we can all sit back, relax and enjoy.
Every reason, of course, to get out and get done with the day when you know that your house is sorted and laying at bed, of course. Now, there's so much more magic coming in here right after this, so don't go anywhere.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. A few more minutes left to take in that daily dose of Feel Good here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's time for the culinary hotline, Bling.
Sing, sing, sing.
Oh, yes. And we're joined by Chef Clem to help you with any of those conundrums in the kitchen. The number is 021 110 552. Dial it, and he's on standby to answer any of your questions. So, I'm not even done with the phone number, and the phone rings, Vernon. It rings. Sure. Would you like to answer it for us?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Good morning, culinary hotline.
Hi.
How can I help you?
Hi.
Let's
Hi, it's Selma.
Selma, you're on speakerphone now. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Durban.
Durban, South Africa's playground. How's it looking this morning?
Rainy and gloomy as ever.
Oh no, but that's the perfect excuse for the perfect comfort meal, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've got a question that's got to do with a special dish for that kind of weather. What is your question for Chef Clem?
I've been trying to call for I don't know how many months. I somehow never get through, so it's my luck that I'm through today. And he happens to have steak, and he's talking about that in front of him. So the thought crossed my mind immediately is I wanted to know how to get the steak as tender as possible, because I've used rump steak, I've used top side. I know nothing about steak. My husband knows everything about cuts and things, and he tells me, no, cook it slower. My father says cook it on high. They say cook it for like a minute and then take it off. Others say cook it with butter and close the lid. I've tried everything, but somehow it still always ends up tough, or not like you would get it at a restaurant. You would, like,
I got you. I got you. And will you? Okay, I've done this. I did this last year, but I've got the best demonstration of how to get a tender steak. But I need you, Tabiso.
You need me for
I need
the
you to come
steak.
here.
Okay, cool. Well,
Okay.
Watch closely, Selma.
Okay.
Vernon,
Okay.
please also pay attention,
So,
because this
we
is
all sanitize.
the art and science of steak.
No.
What's happening?
Okay, so we're all sanitized, all good, we're all fine. Vernon, check this one out. Okay, so the trick about cooking a steak and to get it extremely tender is to actually take it out the fridge before you cook it. Let it come to room temperature as much as possible. Okay? And I've got a good demonstration of what happens when you cook a cold steak.
Okay.
All right.
Am I the cold steak?
So, it's like you said now, it's rainy, it's gloomy in Durban, and it might be a little colder. So imagine extremely cold, and then you jump into a hot bath, but your body's nice and cold. Can you come here, please? Now turn around. Can you lift your jacket up a little bit? Can you give me a zipper? You see what happens? You see what? Do it again. If your body or if your meat is nice and cold and you're something hot, that happens, right? Work with me here. Okay. So now, if you come inside and you let your body come to room temperature, and your body's temperature is a little higher, and you get into that same hot water, because your body's relaxed, because your body's at a more ambient temperature, you relax into the heat.
Okay, Selma, while you're watching that, maybe you turn around. Maybe you turn around, maybe this way. Let's see if you're a hot or a cold steak. Let's lift your shirt up a little bit. Let's see, Zipa, maybe.
What's going on?
Is this a hot or that's a cold steak?
It's a cold steak. Okay, so Salma, that's your first step. Let your steak come to room temperature. Then everybody in the background's doing the tipa now. It's crazy. Guys, you're not part of the demonstration. Just focus on the cameras. Okay, so what you're gonna do then is I've got a sirloin over here, and I'm scoring the fat on the sirloin.
What can Vernon do to help you with that?
Vernon, you know what? You can actually, I'm gonna ask you to demonstrate. Okay, you can be in charge of the steak. Okay. Here we go. So what I'm doing now is I'm crisping up that fat that's on the steak, and I'm asking you just to swirl that steak around in the pan to get that fat nice and crispy. I'm gonna demonstrate how we seared the fat. So you can use a normal chef's knife.
Okay.
What I find actually works better is a little serrated knife. Okay. What you want to do is the steak's got its lean part, which is the meat, and then it's got the fat cap. And when it comes to meat, fat is flavor. If you're scared of the fat, cut it off afterwards. But cook your steak with the fat on. Then what you do is you take your serrated knife and you cut into the fat, being careful not to cut to the meat.
Why do you do that?
This is going to help that fat release from this fat cap. So you're cutting through it, so when it heats up, it's going to start releasing that fat. Plus, because you scored it, that's going to go a little crispy. And we want the crispy. So I'm going to go into a diamond shape, all right? And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to season my steak. Season your steak about half an hour before you actually cook it. Wow. And you'll notice there's this beautiful sheen that comes into the top of your steak.
From the salt.
And people say you're drawing out moisture out of your steak. It's not really, but that moisture that does come out, there's a special name for it, scientific name. Once you put that down in the pan, that's what gives you the crust. So Vernon, can you show us your fat? Okay, it's nice, it's perfect. It's not burnt, that's exactly what you want. Now, let me turn the heat down a little bit, and now you can put you swirl that fat around, the beef fat, and put your steak down.
Okay, sure.
You can put your steak down.
But there's a whole science to it,
No,
seems.
it's in the pan. You can lay down fat.
And we actually had got another question that came through from Clinton out in Gauteng, who asked the same question about the perfect steak recipe. So, Clinton, if you are watching, hopefully this is also answering your question and showing you the perfect way to get the perfect type of steak.
One more thing. When your steak comes out the pan, rest your steak.
Okay.
If you cut your steak immediately, all those juices you've worked so hard to lock into the steak are just going to come out.
That's why then it's droog.
Then it's droog, and no one wants a droog steak. So what you do?
Nobody.
Let it rest for 5 minutes. What I also like to do is, obviously, let's pretend we've got that beautiful sear on the steak already. So if you say now you've cooked your steak both sides, you've got that sear, let it rest. I add some extra little butter on top of it. That's going to keep it so delicious and juicy. It adds so much flavor. I also add a little bit of rosemary to the pan, and you just start basting that buttery goodness over your steak.
Well, we got another question. The steak is going, and that looks so good, Vernon. Is this the perfect steak in your opinion? Your type of steak?
Yeah, it depends on basically how the person would love the steak. If it's medium rare, well done.
How do you like yours?
Well done, basically.
Okay.
Well
like
done.
me. Like
That's fine.
We've got another question here, actually, before we get carried away with the steak. This one came through from Helena, who says, "Good morning, Chef Clem. I don't always have eggs, so I usually bake without eggs. Would you recommend it? 1, have you ever tried baking without eggs, like cakes and scones and flapjacks without eggs?"
So the good thing about flapjacks is you can actually do it without eggs. That's perfectly fine. There's so many recipes without eggs, but in general, if people want to bake without eggs, I got you.
What's the substitute for eggs?
Aquafaba.
What is that?
Sounds strange, right? But it's something we've been throwing down the drain for the longest time.
No, man.
When you buy a can of chickpeas, and you drain off that liquid, that liquid can be used as egg substitute, and it makes the most amazing meringues, and it can be used to like thicken things, aquafaba. So don't throw that away. It freezes really, really well, and it's something we've been literally throwing down the drain for years. Aquafaba, that liquid that comes from the tin of chickpeas. Another thing you can also do is, but if you, like apple puree.
Use the apple puree.
But that's a little harder to make. So actually, no, aquafaba is what you need.
You have so many hacks and tips and tricks and all of that, but herzogies.
That's what it is. Very quickly. So I got a question, someone saying that their pastry always breaks when they start rolling.
Yes, this question actually came through from Rebecca. It says, I like making jam turnovers, but every single time it seems that the jam keeps oozing out, even if I've reduced the amount of jam.
That's the turnovers, right?
Yes.
It's all about the dough. So here's the thing. I'm going to ask you to help me out with this very quickly. Baking powder, flour in that bowl. You're going to add your butter, and you're going to cram it together for me. We're going to make this dough, and the thing about this dough is you want to work with everything.
Can I put the milk?
The butter must be chilled. Put in the milk. Put in the... Actually, it's fine. We're supposed to crumble it together, but we're fast-forwarding, and the vanilla goes in. The thing is, you have to work with your butter really, really, really cold. When the butter's nice and cold, you can let it rest, and then your dough's not going to be that fragile anymore. It's all about the dough. Cut out your rounds. Use it for your hartsogies. Use it for your turnovers. Dollop in your jam. We're going really quick, but the recipe's on the website. You're going to need to make this. All you got to do then is add your jam to the center, chill your pastry first, then bake it. Tabiso's already gone for a snack. Take the whole thing, Take the whole thing.
You have to try one of these. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. It's been fantastic. The Culinary Hotline. We love you. See you tomorrow morning.
Bring.
We love you so much. So much. Love you, Vernon.
Make the most of glorious summer with your picnic favorites. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.